Warning. This show contains content intended for adult audiences. The language is crass at best and downright all made for the sake of comedy and poor sophomoric taste. The skits are parodies, and any similarity to real people or stories is purely coincidental. Any insults hurled at any one human is made in jest. We're just covering our bases for when one of you skins your knee on an internet insult. We love you. Again, this is all a joke, whether you laugh or not. Not just the show, but this waking existence. The great cosmic giggle. Try not to take it seriously.
At 15 seconds, guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo. Now, I'm sure that most of you know the old story about the astronaut who went far out into space and was asked on his return whether he had been to heaven and seen God. And he said yes. He said yes. He said yes.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and sentient artificial intelligence. Join us on this journey to find the others. Because no matter where we find ourselves in this multiverse, the act of existing is all too familiar.
Guys? Is anybody out there? Hello?
The mushroom has a tremendous problem-solving ability.
Herb is a plant. Herbs are good for everything.
As we look across this great expanse and stare at the stars, we can't help but be reminded these lights, though we're seeing them all at the same time, happen across a multi-billion-year delta. Some of those fires burned millions of years ago, some billions, but all of them happened so we could experience them in this one singular moment.
They called us scouts. They called us seekers. They called us Hoosier. But we were destined to question every.
I don't know about you, but as for me, the question has already been answered. Should we be here? Yes.
It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. Steve likes the weed. Steve likes the weed. By DMT. The DMT. Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Hoosiers with the drink. Sophisticated blasphemy. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. So let's set our minds free for the singularity. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show.
Join us and start your day with a gentle meditation from Hoosier Sophisticate. Let us all remember, we are only as good as our last breath.
Welcome to this powerful meditation to get you motivated. Make sure you are positioned comfortably for the duration of this session. Take 3 deep breaths at your own pace. And on the last breath, let your eyes close. Bring your awareness to something that motivates you. What popped in your mind? Simply observe how your body and mind react to this image or thought that appeared. There is no wrong answer. We all experience different thoughts in response, and all thoughts are valid. Allow your mind to meditate on what motivates you unchallenged. Do not judge yourself. What motivates you? Sometimes we may feel a lack of motivation. Sometimes we feel we must do, or perhaps even want to do, but that we can't seem to find the energy for. Observe this feeling of not being motivated with compassion. It is okay to feel unmotivated from time to time, so do not be too hard on yourself. Though this is unwanted behavior, it happens to even the best of us. So now, breathing and sinking just a little bit deeper into the depths of your own mind, know this, that if you are willing to show up, you are willing to be transformed by whatever it is you are doing for the better. Simply showing up is enough to be a catalyst for success. Just sitting down in front of whatever it is you know you must do, but have the motivation towards, is the beginning of powerful motivation. That is enough. The act of doing is where the bliss is hidden. When you proceed in doing, this bliss is revealed to you as a reward. So see yourself doing something you may have been previously unmotivated to do. Now see yourself unlocking the happiness of accomplishment along the way. All tasks, however large or small, contain within them the ability to produce a state of flow. Being in a nice flow is considered an optimal state of being. Flowing produces motivation. When people of various backgrounds the world over are asked to describe the moments in their life in which they felt the happiest, they all describe behaviors, patterns, and experiences that divine flow. Notice the flow of your breath, the flow of these words, the flow of this meditation. One of the easiest experiences to identify with flow is noticing the disappearance of time. A moment where suddenly looking towards the clock and discovering that 2 hours has gone by out of nowhere. That is when you were caught in the flow of life. Immersing yourself in a task with this effortless flow is easier than you think. The tasks that most consistently produce this sensation of timeless flow within us end up being what we pursue for the rest of our lives, bringing us the most joy. Remember now those times when you were caught in the flow of motivation. What causes you to lose your sense of time? Become aware that all tasks hold this bliss if you only allow it. If you value the process of doing and the product of your doing, you come to find that simply starting the process with the right attitude is enough to get you motivated. The process itself The art of doing is where the bliss resides. Remember this important piece of information. The act of doing creates true bliss. This is where the flow is. This state of optimal being experienced by all humans the world over. So if you feel unmotivated to do something, ask yourself why you are unmotivated. Does the task seem inherently boring to you, or perhaps it is too challenging? Maybe you fear imminent failure. These are merely common concerns, typical thoughts that one may experience while feeling unmotivated. Observe these thoughts as if they are coming out of a loudspeaker. Now turn that loudspeaker around and hold it to your mouth in your imagination and say out loud with confidence, I am motivated. I complete tasks in record time. I have clear intentions, so I accomplish things with ease. I deserve to be successful. I am always motivated to get more done than I planned. My mind is focused and my energy is clear. I am motivated to exercise. I am motivated to cook healthy foods. I don't look for easy things. I look for challenging things. I push myself because no one else will but me. Motivation starts when I start a task. Willpower is something that comes naturally to me. I reach my goals through the power of dedication. Being motivated may not come easy, but it is rewarding. My life is full of purpose. I am confident in what I do, and that in turn makes me motivated. I'm so motivated that others are inspired by me to become motivated themselves. Good. Shout these affirmations to every level of your awareness. When you are ready, rise from your meditation, feeling more motivated than you ever have before.
He's the strongest one. He's the coolest one. He's the strongest one. He's the coolest one.
The strongest one in the schoolyard. The coolest one in the schoolyard. He's the strongest one in the schoolyard. He's the coolest one in the schoolyard.
Falling in love again in the schoolyard. Again I'm falling in love again in the schoolyard. I'm falling in love again.
We fell in love in the schoolyard. She's looking at me oh so hard. In the schoolyard we don't play games. In the schoolyard it's not about fame. In the schoolyard you fall in love. The schoolyard is all about love. When you fall in love in the schoolyard, you fall in love in the schoolyard. About dreams, and the schoolyard is not as it seems. In the schoolyard is where we fall, but don't forget who you are.
Good morning. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. What's up, ladies and germs? How are you, Steve-O? What's going on today, buddy?
Oh, Facebook's trying to shut me down from a post from last year.
Don't worry, guys. I'm actually really here. You probably didn't know that because I had my invisibility cloak on. I don't want to freak you guys out. Facebook's trying to shut you down for what?
Drugs.
Well, I don't even know what to do anymore about it, to be honest with you.
I'm drugging, man.
You're a drug dude?
I'm a drug man.
You're a drug man. Well,
and we got false information.
oh, that one was hilarious. That's about the COVID shot making dicks bigger. Facebook is going to shut down our group because someone posted a joke about the COVID vaccine potentially enlarging penis size.
Is that really what
100 million fucking trillion %. Read it. Read it on there for these fucking simple fucks.
Pizza check?
Yeah, what is it?
The image of a television broadcast claiming that the COVID-19 vaccine enlarges one's penis is untrue.
Well, you know, I mean,
I hope.
you know, a guy can dream, can't he?
Burns down. I hope Facebook's.
I truly do. When I say like I wish the worst on Mark Zuckerberg and everything that he's created in Silicon Valley, I truly do. If tomorrow Facebook
Twitch.
was completely gone from this earth,
I'm only sharing Twitch everywhere. See, I'm only sharing to Twitch. I got it on my phone right now.
yep.
Watch this
I'm
video.
actually I'm supposed to be unbanned in 9 minutes. I've been banned for 3 days. They did not give me a reason. They did not give me a post as to what. Listen, I got to know what I did wrong. Otherwise, I don't know not to do it again, right?
Assume it was everything.
Well, here's the thing. I realize that comedy is lost in text often. I get that. I understand that. So, like, you know, if I happen to comment on something like, God, I want to punch this cocksucker in the face, that is considered a threat of violence by the AI overlords.
Talking to my microphone.
Hi. I'm in Delaware.
Am I in 3 now?
I don't know what you are. You switched them all up. I don't think so. I think you should be 2.
No, I'm in 3.
Okay. Well, swap them out if you want. I think 2 is on the right, the far right of the desk over there. So anyway, I woke up Saturday morning with a 3-day ban for something. Again, I don't know what I did, which makes it all very difficult. But here, you know, but the AI, it can consistently do.
Hello?
Yeah, that's peeking. That looks real good. We're just redlining. You're just pegging it, bud. You're just pinning the fucking peg, bud. But, you know, the robots, they can do and say whatever they want. So what are you doing, bud?
Just tracking it, making sure we don't have
Oh, yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
We had a lot of guests in here last night. Okay, we're playing games, had guests. It's Tuesday.
Tuesdays are tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tough Tuesdays, what we call them. Tuffy Tuesdays. What we call them.
I really enjoyed having my brother-in-law in here last night. I didn't even drop that little tidbit of information on everybody. I think my wife pretty well brought everybody up to speed. But Brandon's my brother-in-law. I'm very fortunate to have such cool in-laws. I always look forward to being able to get together. That's one reason why I love Thanksgiving or any of the holidays is I get together with guys like Brendan and we get to fucking wax poetic and talk about, you know, what we're doing, how we support our communities, how we grow our communities, how we intersect our communities. And I feel like last night was a pretty productive conversation. I thought we had some fun. It got out there. It got out there a couple of times.
Got weirder after
It
the cameras went
got
off
a
last night with the
little
old
strange.
didgeridoo.
Got a little strange.
The old didgeridoo, bud.
So, anywho, Steve-O, one of the things we talk about regularly, and the people know this. Let me just pull up our chat cam. We haven't. Would you imagine? Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Last time I was banned for 30 days, they didn't tell me either. Last night was fun. Good morning, gents. Would you imagine company would be run by AI in the future? I think it definitely will. Whole
Being run
companies will,
right
but
now by
right now
AI.
you cannot.
It's being run right now by AI.
So I actually had this idea the other day because Facebook has Facebook has they have no appeal process. They have no.
Sure, they do.
They have no appeal process.
Yeah, you can just push a button and it'll say, "Do you think this is wrong?"
Well, then now you can do like a report a problem, but then you have to like get a screenshot of what you think they got wrong. Anyway, so I'm searching all over. A friend of mine found the other day. I don't know what you're doing, but
just sprinkling up.
Friend of mine found the other day and sent to me a phone number to call for Facebook, and I think that would be awesome to do live on air.
There's no way they have a number
Oh, they got a number.
that they answer.
They got. I don't know.
Call right
Let's
now.
want to do it right now.
Yeah, we got nothing.
Well, I think I should probably rather.
we got nothing else. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think maybe tomorrow or something we'll get it together. 650-543-4800. Everybody
There's
call that
no
number.
way they're answering that.
Press 2 for law enforcement, 3 for business development and advertising, 4 for marketing.
What do you mean law enforcement?
Buddy, I'm just telling you what the prompts are.
I'm
okay?
just asking you.
5 for press and editorial issues, 6 for employee verification, and 7 to leave a message about an issue relating to a non-technical issue. So I think what we should probably do is run through the entire gamut of phone options. I think we should go 2 through 7.
Probably stay away from number 1.
2, yeah, the law enforcement.
Yeah, what
I'll
are we
do that
doing?
one last.
What are we doing? Facebook police?
No, well, it's clear. It's clear what Facebook is.
I mean, was
Facebook
that-
is a CIA funded project.
You're going to call the cops through this number?
That's how I understand. That's how I understand it, bud.
Not to be asking you questions.
Yeah, what do you
about something
what do you want
that,
me to what do you want me to tell you? I'm reading.
Apologize
I'm reading.
for that.
What do you
Just
want me to
trying
tell
have
you?
a Conversation in the morning.
What do you want me to tell you, bud? I just gave you a phone number and what the options are. I can only imagine.
I remember
can
looking for
only
a-
imagine.
Is that a song?
Yeah, it is. It's a Jesus song, actually. Hang on a minute. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I stand for you, Jesus?
You are making that.
I'm not making it up, man. How can I make that up, bud?
It's not good.
You're gonna say, "Oh, you want to see how many albums I could only imagine sold, bud? Hundreds of millions.
Sure billions, dude. People are bought in on
It's
that.
a song by Mercy Me. How dare you? Put a little fucking respect on Mercy Me. They made a movie out of the song.
Mercy me.
Oh, mercy, mercy me.
Listen, that's not it.
Oh, things ain't what they used to
That's-
be
no.
now.
That's soul, the exact opposite of
Oh yeah, no,
Catholicism.
you're right. You're right. Well, this isn't Catholic. This isn't
Whatever.
Catholic.
They're
You
all the
think?
same to
Listen,
me.
let me.
I don't
just,
know.
This is something.
Jenny
this
and
is
I
a-
were going over that Catholic, Christian. I don't know.
This is a thought that Catholics
Whatever.
are Christians. This is a thought
I know,
that I
but
had.
then like not every Christian.
No,
not,
believes
not
that
every
Catholics are
Catholic
Christians.
is a Christian. Not every
No.
every Christian is a Catholic. Not every Catholic is a
No,
Christian.
vice versa. Every Catholic is a Christian. Not every Christian is a Catholic.
Every Roman Catholic
Is a Christian.
is a Christian. Not every Christian is a Catholic. I
Right.
read for-
So, and this is something I feel like maybe
They're all
I need
wrong.
to. It feels like it's something I feel like maybe I need to clear
They're
up.
all equally wrong.
If you look like me, if you are a white,
yeah, we went over this last night. I already feel bad about it. Okay.
If you look like me, and you went to a church filled with people that also look like me, and your church had a bass player, we didn't go to we don't talk to the same God. I mean, we kind of do in theory, but you know, give me fucking stone walls and Gregorian chants, bud. I don't.
Let's get weird.
I'm
trying to get weird
bang a
in
drum,
church.
something.
Every
Anyway,
once in a while, Miss Hunter come
you
out.
better
with the
fucking.
acoustic.
You better put some
Jam
respect
on that
on
thing.
Mercy Me's name.
Hey man, 99.1 always gets me. You know when you're doing the scan in your car? I'm scanning. I'm driving. I'm scanning.
The biggest
Driving.
Christian hit ever.
I'm scanning. I'm driving.
The biggest Christian hit ever as of
Scanning,
2018.
driving. Then I hit 99.1 and I'm like, oh, this sounds like a great song. And I look down and,
And
I'm
they
like,
got
you
you.
tricked me.
They got you.
You tricked me.
You're-
They're just
if
like
you were a
G
fish-
chord, C chord, D chord, and here we are, and now we're going to harmonize, cause you can't not like people harmonizing, right? Right. This is all I needed in my church. I needed some of this. We had none of this. You couldn't even clap in church, okay? Couldn't do any of that.
Well, there was a couple songs where
Nope,
that
couldn't
were
clap.
clappers.
Couldn't
We
clap.
had a
Nope,
couple clappers
nope.
in church.
Not
Well,
in my church, bud. Not in St. Boniface, bud. You ain't
Well-
clapping in St. Boniface, bud.
anywho, that was Brennan England, ENNAN. There was a nice little cover story on him on People to Watch in the Missouri cannabis industry with Mo Greenway. I love him to death. He's near and dear to me. He's my brother-in-law. I think he's doing awesome stuff. I think he's a steward of the community. I think that the Cola is a place, and we really only talked about it a little bit, but one of the coolest. All of my experiences at the Cola have been kind of what we talked a little bit about last night, where it really is an amalgamation of many different types of people, different interests, and the Cola just kind of facilitates a lot of common interests. The main one, obviously, being cannabis that we share in common, but also there are multiple gaming systems. There's chessboards, there's pool tables, there's all kinds of places to play board games. It's just a place for you to go, hang out, connect through the plant, talk about some ideas. We tried to have I thought we had a very good conversation last night about social equity, about what that even looks like. Good morning, Skittles. Getting up in them trees today, bud?
Not Skitlets today, bud. It's too early for Skitlets.
Blunt Man to Kill sang that song in church growing up. That's right.
Fair enough.
Yeah. 2.5 million albums sold, the highest best-selling Christian single of all time. So maybe
Good for them.
Maybe you want to get a little culture.
Good for them. I got enough of that culture.
Maybe you want to learn a
plenty
little
of
bit
that
about it. You didn't get
culture.
any of this
Yeah,
one.
got
No.
plenty of it. Got 4 hours a day, 3 hours, 2 hours a day. What'd they pump us with? About 2.5 hours a day. Teach me math.
Teach me math,
Teach
bud.
me math, bud.
Well,
Teach me. Let me
don't
go
know,
through
man.
the classics.
I've
Let me go through the classics.
okay.
I
Well,
just-
that's actually one of the things that I am grateful for with my Catholic upbringing, is that I felt like especially having switched over to a larger public school, which felt like they were running laps around me when I got there when it came to like math and science or
obviously.
band. But like when it came to like literature, reading, anything like that, I'm like, you guys
Liturgy of the Word.
I'm like, you guys are reading this in sophomore year? I think we knocked this one out in 5th grade, guys.
No one understood it.
No one understood it, but we covered it.
But we
that's
did
all
talk
that's
about it.
important. Yeah. We diagram
It's way
sentences.
over our head.
We diagram sentences. So,
Yeah, I get it.
so what are you going to do?
No, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. I had a good time. I had a real good time.
I don't know any better, so I think it was great.
Oh, no, that's kind of like I'm running the biggest experiment on my kids because, I could have fucking told you all the Bible and Jesus stories back in the day. I was in. I was bought in, bud. I was buying into the 12 apostles, and I loved all the Bible
Me
stories.
too.
I was a New Testament guy, man. Give me some of that New Testament. I didn't like the Old Testament.
I actually thought the Old Testament was a little more fun.
Oh, it was definitely a better read.
Yeah, it was more like
But
that.
at least Jesus was like, hey, dude, you fucked up. All right, man, we'll figure something out. Old Testament God's like, oh, dude, you fucking looked at your own dick
You're
wrong.
a pillar of salt.
Yeah, you're dead. Whoa, look, and dick explodes. You know what I mean? Like, how many stories
I
about
kind of like
dicks
that
exploding?
guy, for real.
Looking back on it, yeah, he's more entertaining. And
So he's
it's
a showman.
It's a gamble.
He's a
either
showman.
way,
Oh,
yeah.
you don't believe in me? Well, check this out. Here's a peacock in your ass, bud.
Yeah, and if you came up with a good enough story, like you're pregnant, we're gonna stone you. You're like, God put the baby in here, and everyone's like, shit, really?
No doubt.
And you're like, oh God,
That worked.
Like I have this whole. I want to shoot a whole movie where Jesus is just a dude who's really good with sleight of hand, and he's just
That's probably
charismatic.
Pretty likely.
And he was kind of just a hermit, lived in the woods, maybe
of the
gay. Kind of build this character up, and then all of his friends are like, "Oh, dude, you see that?" Like he walks out and like is collecting shells at low tide or whatever, but he just knows he's figured out when tides come in and shit, and the simpletons in his village haven't really figured that out. So he goes and walks out in the morning, and the water looks like it's out there, but it's just the tide. It's only about this deep, and his buddy's like, "He's fucking walking on water, dude." And then these simple fucks are like, "We have this wedding, and there's no fish and bread." And he's like, "Dude, I've been fucking like a little squirrel just stored up." He's like, "Let me go back and I'll go get some."
Yeah.
He comes back 20 minutes later. It's not like he just instantly does it. And people are like, "He turned the fucking shit. He turned the water into wine. I saw it." And it's all these stories that get outlandish until the point he's like, fine, it's cool. He's kind of like living it up. He's like, oh, okay, you know, I get free drinks in the bars I go to. I really don't want to talk to anybody. But then, you know, the Romans start getting involved. Pontius Pilate, what's our boy Marty Radle's favorite thing to say? The Pharisees start.
Oh, he calls people Pharisees? It's amazing.
And then you know, then they're like, he's the Son of Man. You know, and he's like, no, guys, could we chill out on that?
Yeah. They're fucking. They got a fucking bounty out on my head.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You think you can maybe keep it down?
I always thought that was fun because the experiment I'm running with my kids.
I thought that was fun.
The experiment with my kids is they don't know anything. I teach them all the religions. You know, whenever there's an opportunity to learn about religion, I teach them what I know. You know. And the other day, Ivan was wrestling, and they're playing. They always played superheroes. So they're messing around. And they're like, I'm Wolverine. I got these claws, and okay, cool. I'm Vision. I can control time. I'm gonna go back. Or Doctor Strange. I'm gonna, you know, they yell out who they are. I'm Black Panther now. I can take your power and hit you. You know, they're always changing things. And at one point Ivan goes, I'm Jesus, and I have all the powers.
Fair enough.
I was like,
Fair enough.
well, shit, where'd he get that from? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been putting that
I've
in.
been doing that. So it's interesting to see that because, you know, there was a time when it was like, how is your child going to learn morals at a public school?
Oh, yeah.
Without
morality
the whole
escapes.
Jesus
Morality
thing.
escapes all those godless heathens.
Yeah, I'm not under how without the fear of hell at the end of this trip.
Yeah, how does this work?
And the 10 Commandments and learning about Jesus, like the 3 major things you got to do to keep your shit straight.
Yeah, it's the only way you're going
And
to heaven.
public school kids were just jerking off.
It was
guilt-free.
they were a nudist colony,
jerking
and they were
off,
just bumping uglies everywhere.
guilt-free, man. And as a Catholic kid, I was like, oh man, I bet they're fucking doing all sorts of stuff
Drugs,
in those public schools.
No doubt.
What an idiot.
Well, you were a total idiot.
Still am, bud. Still am.
I just want to talk to sweet just baby. Let's rap spunk, Steve. Ooh squirt.
Alan, god dang it, bud.
Let's rap.
It's too early for the ooh squirt, bud.
Let's rap spunk, Steve.
God dang.
You guys religious? I don't know.
What does that mean?
I'm not. I hate the whole "I'm not religious, I'm spiritual" thing.
Do you?
As
much as I hate when people say "I love you" to the moon and back,
I don't know.
doubtful because that's
It's
my
awesome,
least
like-
favorite thing. Do you hate that too?
I
That too. Hate it with me.
I've been. Yeah, sure. I've been in. I mean, in my own little ethos, I feel as though I've been in the presence of God. It didn't look like anything anybody told me it was going to look like, or she was going to look like, or it was going to look like when I was a kid. But yeah, I've got some ideas. I don't. You know, there are no rules. There are no rules in this religion. But I have, you know, I got thinking about that. I feel like if you talk to like some power Catholics, right, that were still like conservative, anti-drug, you know, and you said, hey, what do you believe? And you quiz them and you'd be like, this is the weird shit that goes on in my brain when I'm driving, right? I have these conversations with imaginary people, and I'm like,
you're schizophrenic.
yeah, I'm a madman, and I'm like, you know, what does it mean? Teach me like I'm 5. What it means to take Holy Communion in the Catholic Church, right?
Well, you do it when you're 7. So
sure, yeah. So you have a great grasp on everything that you're actually participating in. But you know, you ask somebody who is kind of a proud Catholic, who's steep in the history of Catholicism, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's very simple. You see, when the priest is praying over the host and the wine, you know, the body and the body and the blood, the bread and the wine, yeah."
Right. One bread,
you know, one body.
That's a jam.
One Lord of all. Good tune. And in that moment when he says, you know,
One cup of blessing which we bless. They always used to sing that during that part, or they're fucking kind of going through emotions.
Yeah.
Like,
When they're offering the gifts of the Lord.
well, I feel like when he's making the jam.
Oh, ours was
Yeah.
he was usually singing a lot to himself because that was the
Yeah.
that was the part that anyone who was an educator of mine would say the most important part of the entire service.
I know they're
If
gonna
you didn't
rank
pay
it in parts.
if you didn't pay attention to anything, if you didn't pay attention to the first reading or the second reading or the responsorial psalm or any of these things, make sure that you are witness to through him, with him, and him. When he's doing this
in
whole
the
deal.
unity of the Holy Spirit. Yours is the body of God.
All glory is yours.
Forever and ever. Amen. Well, my priest would do something similar. He'd go silly! That's a cheerleader.
That's a native hemp
That's a
extract
cheerleader.
call back there. So in that moment, when the priest then has the host, will say,
Fuck
and he's
me.
got the bread and he holds it up.
Fuck me.
He's showing it to everyone. In that moment, when he puts it down and he sets it down and then he genuflects in front of it, right?
Yep.
In that moment, that bread is turning into Jesus's body. Okay. Now, all right, I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's fine.
I was all in, dude.
Rinse and repeat. Me too. And I was like, oh, fuck. In that moment, I would really pray hard, man. I'd be like, man, just be good. You make sure the transfer of his body is in that bread real good.
You
like-
really thought that? Never, never, ever.
No, but I did close my eyes and kind of focus on what was
man,
going on.
I was always like the balls on this fucking priest to get
To
up there
sing.
and acapella,
Singing acapella all day like he's fucking.
He's not good.
Bobby McFerrin.
My guy's
or
not
something.
good. My guy was not good. I'm Jesus.
Come eat me.
Shit.
I'm Jesus. Come eat me now.
I would have went to that church.
I would have went to that church too. So, all right. So anyway, so you're asking this Catholic about what's taking place, and they're explaining that to you, and they're like, okay, in this moment, Jesus is turning into the body. The bread and wine are turning into Jesus' body and blood, and then you are going to take the sacrament, and by taking that sacrament, you are entering communion with God, and it's one of the most important things in our faith, and that's
Why
what
didn't
we
they just
believe.
have us eat mushrooms instead of?
This is what I'm getting to. So it's like, so it's like, you're like, okay, well, yeah, I'm with that. Like, you believe, and it takes a fair amount of make-believe, right? Like, enough make-believe that, that you're not giving children alcohol, you're rather giving them Jesus' blood. So we're at least participating in a little bit of make-believe, okay? And that's fine. That's okay. So, and then you would ask them, how important is that sacrament to your faith? And most Catholics would say, well, it's wildly important. It's so important, in fact.
I don't
that
want to be the asshole sitting down while everybody else is up getting.
It's
a
so
little body of
important
blood.
that we have a holy sacrament that we celebrate. It's one of the 7 big things in our religion that you can kind of graduate through. Okay, so then you're like, cool, awesome, I'm with it. I support you in drinking wine and eating bread and pretending it's Jesus. I also have a sacrament. It looks like a bunch of different things, but it takes me to the same place. It takes that altar that guy up there that's singing on, it takes that and it multiplies it by a magnitude of 12 billion.
Well, aren't you just better than the Catholic Church?
Not at
buddy?
all.
That's what it sounds like.
Not at
You
all.
got bigger altars.
My sacrament
My
just
altar's
takes me
bigger.
there. My steeple's bigger. my altar's bigger. My tabernacle has
Dude,
way
way-
weirder shit in it. All right. Bottom line is, I too have a sacrament, and it is at this point, as the kid who closed his eyes so tight and prayed, because I was taught that was the most important moment in a service. I was trying to buy into that because maybe the we're taught, at least, and it feels like that the most powerful we can be is connecting with the divine, the thing that created all of this, right? Well, I found that. I later found that as an adult in the darkest time of my life, when life seemed disposable and unimportant. I found something that the same amount of prayer went into, except when I took it, I didn't have to make believe anymore. I didn't have to make believe anymore. It took me to a place. It wasn't on my own
I think
volition.
you're still buying in, though, to a certain extent.
Well,
because I've had psychedelic experiences where I wanted to get to that point. Maybe I haven't put as much intention as I should, and there's ways to get deeper and deeper and deeper. But I'm not sold on that. That's the afterlife, and that is the other realm. You know, I'm still at a point where I'm like, man, maybe it's fucking darkness.
Yeah,
afterwards.
if it's not,
like
then,
before I was born, maybe it's like that afterwards. Because I want to believe
that's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. It's whatever it was before you were born.
But we just have no memory of it.
Yeah,
and that could be it, but you don't know.
Who cares what it is? There's no.
Yeah, that's where I'm saying.
There's no.
I mean, it would suck to be stuck.
There's
in
no
like
anxiety
attached.
I guess there's no anxiety attached to that for me, because of that knowing that I don't remember what it was like before I was born.
Isn't that the same thing people do for religion, though? They use it as something to get rid of their anxiety for death?
Maybe. Except
I think that's a huge part of religion, to say, after I die, I get to go here.
Yeah.
That's the whole playbook for some people,
I guess. I guess. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, that, in a way, that's why I have no fear of death, right? Is because I feel as though I've had visions of the eternal. Now, they may have just been my own makeup, right? Now,
sure.
There's a lot of crossover with a lot of people, and we've got an article.
Fuck.
Talking. You all right?
I almost tossed it.
Oh.
I hit my shit and almost
that would have been fun.
This.
There's enough crossover with people who have had psychedelic experiences, entheogenic experiences, where they've not communicated and they've maybe not had. We talked about it. Like before I had an ayahuasca experience, I had no idea why a jaguar would be presented to me or present in my deal, and why it would be doing something why it would seemingly be laughing. What kind of cat laughs at you, And then all of a sudden,
cat laugh at fucking me?
Yeah, I'll fucking slap a cat around. Bud.
I don't think so.
And then whatever we talked about Aubrey Marcus. Like 3 years later, he explains this very same laughing jaguar, and it's like, I'm like, I can understand totems, and all of those kind of ideas being put in my brain, because I remember kind of studying about ayahuasca before I did it. And, they talk about how many times there are in traditional ayahuasca ceremonies, yahe ceremonies, you'll pray in kind of the 4 cardinal directions. And in each of those directions, you have a different animal totem that's kind of been present through these indigenous ceremonies for thousands of years. So you have the condor, you have the jaguar, the hummingbird, and the serpent. And so, I kind of knew those things, but I didn't know I didn't know anything about the jaguar for sure. People, and they said, well, these different animals might present themselves. These animal totems may present themselves in different ways. Some people feel like there's a snake writhing through them that's their purge, or what it feels like their purge as the medicine's moving through them. And some people have like these nervous butterfly feeling. They equate that to the condor. Some people feel like big ominous energy around them, and that's the condors, the flapping of the condor's wings. This goes back, but I didn't know what the jaguar did. And when I had this experience, I just have this big cat, this big jungle cat, who is kind of moving through me, and when he does, it hurts me. Like I'm wincing. But then once I kind of figure out how to come to grips with that, then all of a sudden I'm not like I was at peace, and this cat curls up next to me and is laughing like it's just my buddy, dude. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like, this is more pleasant than whatever was happening before, for sure. But when I come back to, afterwards, when we're all kind of sharing our experience, I don't really know how to explain this other than I had this fucking laughing jungle cat next to me the whole time. It's kind of, it would be creepy if it wasn't so, not unique. What's the word I'm looking for? If it wasn't so genuine to the experience, you know what I mean? Like, it felt like the Cheshire Cat in that, it would kind of fade in and out of this thing that I was dealing with, but each time kind of with this reassuring, sheepish, giggle. And okay, so I'm getting sidetracked a little bit, but the point is like I had this experience that was so incredibly unique that I've never seen anything to it that would have put that in my brain. I fast forward a couple of years.
What did they tell you about the animals before you went in?
Well, in the beginning, there's an invocation. So the ayahuasquero is saying this prayer after everyone has been, and Parangi has a great one, like recorded. It's really great. I'll play for you later. But yeah, it's this opening prayer that prays in the 4 cardinal directions, and each one is like a short prayer to these animal totems to help carry you through this medicine experience. So anyway, the point is that I had this really religious experience, and it was not only what felt like unique to me, but it was intimate to me. And then somebody else had like the same experience. And then as I kind of studied that, I realized that there are many people who have this experience with this particular totem, and he carries these same personality traits. I don't know what that is. What is morphic resonance? If not some universal alignment and connection that we have with not only other people and animalia and life and things like that, but also with previously lived lives, spirits that were once here before. Is that
Someone wants me to go see a medium. I think I'm going to do it.
Do you think you could suspend disbelief long enough to?
Oh, I 100. It's not. See, Jen and I were talking about this. I don't not believe it. I am 100% bought in on energy, and morphic resonance and fields of energy and all that shit. I know everything's vibrating. I get that, and I get there's a way to probably unlock that. I have room for fucking everything. Like you just really got to prove it to me. Like it's really, because once I started reading about the cold readings stuff, like that's when I was like, oh shit, I might be getting duped here. But I don't think I have to suspend my belief. I think I just need the person to say something, and it doesn't have to be like your grandma says exactly this or this person. They just have to hit me with something that I know they couldn't have picked up on a Facebook post or something, or if they're not just so vague that I go, oh yeah, they were probably talking about this person. Because that's what I saw a lot of times on those cold readings. People wanted to hear something, and the person would just keep guessing until they hit.
No doubt.
And then the person's like, yes, you did it. And it also kind of fucks me up because I'm like, what's the harm in that? They just told them their dead relative still loves them and is in peace in the afterlife. And this person on Earth has been experiencing excruciating times because they can't get over the death. A medium comes and says, hey, they're good. They're in heaven and they're having a good old time in Cloud City. Oh, sweet. How's the view from Sugar Heaven? Bitch.
Super troopers.
So that was the worst re-saying of that line ever.
I like it.
But I struggle with that because I struggle with what's truth. What are the stories I tell myself? And what is truth? Is truth the stories I've told myself? Like, then if those are the stories I tell myself, then I can kind of tell myself anything. And it's all of these kind of, we live in a meme society. So it's like, hey man, fake it till you make it. Or, like these little short memes.
Just don't believe that the COVID vaccine will make your dick bigger.
Yeah, then you'll shut down.
Then you're shutting down all of your virtual existence.
So, you go through this whole thing, and I feel like if you get to a point where you're just believing in things to believe them and these truths you tell yourself, what is real? When I was totally bought in on Jesus and thought that was just it. It was all I was exposed to. It was all my family was. I was like, oh yeah, Jesus is God. This is a whole deal. And then when I started to understand, I'm like, oh my God, there are so many other people believe. And I was always I'm so intrigued and in wonderment and awe of Native Americans and the way they lived and the bond with the earth, and their gods were like, we needed some rain, so we prayed to the rain god. Pretty simple deal. They didn't have this whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, there's this Jesus guy and these people killed him and then he had to carry it. It's like, what the fuck? You know, there's a bunch of crazy stories with all of that. I love to hear the lore or whatever, you know, the old tales of Native Americans. But it's like, okay, so everyone who doesn't believe in Catholicism and what I believe is going to hell. Like, that was the first point I was starting to go, well, we got some flaws in this system. Like, as I remember asking a teacher, so everyone who didn't meet Jesus just or didn't, you know, get rid of their original sin or whatever, they're in hell. And they're like, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough go. You know, maybe purgatory for some of them. If they,
Sure.
And I'm like, purgatory sucks worse. Like, the hell sounds at least like something's going on.
Listen.
But purgatory is a space.
If
And
heaven,
babies
if
used to
heaven
go
is
there.
happiness and hell is anger or sadness,
Purgatory is
and
indifference.
purgatory is indifference, I'll give me fucking one of the other ends of the
For
spectrum.
real.
Because I've been here
That
for
used
an
to
eternity.
scare me, dude. Purgatory.
Indifference is a...
So I wonder if, and then I started to get into psychedelics. So then, and especially DMT was the one that really made me go, oh, okay, there might be some sort of, I do think there's some sort of grand design, you know.
Do you?
But I think the grand design is 50% chaos.
Oh, yes.
So that, you know, I always think the grand design always had to be like, there's someone in control of all of this. And yeah, here he is clicking the buttons to the computer screen. No, now my understanding is like, no, it's kind of this, everything is this balance. What I've just experienced in life, everything is this balance. So if consciousness is a balance, then everything is just this yin and yang, yoink and yoink.
Yeet and yoink.
Yeet and yoink.
That's like up to 1,200.
So then I started to get into psychedelics, and I was wondering if I was maybe doing the same thing with psychedelics, what I was doing with religion, where I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. This is it. I'm getting it. And I did find it weird that there are all these totems, but then I'm also like, I don't want to turn psychedelics into a religion because I didn't like what religion. But then I'm like, no. It wasn't religion. Wasn't necessarily the bad thing about what you were all believing in. Because, you know, I was like 17 or 18 when I hit this moment where I was like, what? My entire belief structure?
Right.
Huh? I mean, it's a heavy thing looking back on it. I'm like, shit. And I had some dark years when I was like, I don't believe in anything now.
That's exactly what
I
I
had
was
2
going to
years
get
where
to.
I was like, I believe in nothing. And then I started to do psychedelics, and I was like, whoa, there's something going on, whether it be this or that or the other. I feel like I know some of the things I was lied to about, so therefore religion's bad. I don't want to take something that I think is spiritual, you know, like you're saying to begin this, the spiritual versus religious. I don't want it to be something like that, you know, okay, am I just making something good bad and taking something bad and saying it was all bad instead of taking the good things from that and adding it to the good things of this? And making it my own fucking deal?
Well, I think the biggest hang up that anybody who had like a not even a strict Christian upbringing, like even just like I don't know that ours was that strict, right?
I
like
don't think so.
It was regimented.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
That was the deal.
It was a regimented religious upbringing.
They just hit you with a couple hours
when
every
you
day.
when you grow up with that conditioning, you are also kind of conditioned to believe that there is a hierarchy within your spirituality. There are people that you have to go through in order to get closer to God.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that, you know,
you could only tell your
you
sins
said
to
you
a
went
priest.
through, no doubt. And I think that a lot of that stuff was probably at one point rooted in some pretty solid ideology. Sure. You know? And I think that it was also very easily perverted, right? So like it's one of those things where you know, in a yeah, no worries. In a world where we're looking for, oh, there you go. Look at you. You're like, why my chair's so close?
I know.
You know, you're trying to, you're told that like, when you have the power that these people are like, okay, well, really probably what you should do in order to get closer to God is lean on a friend, lean on a leader, someone, a mentor, and tell them kind of some of the things that are troubling you, that are keeping you from God. Get that out of you into somebody that you trust, and talk it through. And then let's pray on it, and then and that's going to feel good, and that's the idea, right? Well, kind of the same thing behind the sacrament. I'm not entirely convinced that the sacrament didn't start with psilocybin mushrooms or with Kaikian brew or with.
It makes more sense, but then when you hear about holotropic breathing and stuff like that, you're like,
there are so many different ways. That's how Kundalinis get there. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe when you're walking up to the altar, they're like, you breathe like this, motherfucker, and by the time you eat this bread, well, you're going to feel
and they're burning incense, which does raise frequencies. It does raise vibrations. Like there are all of these things that were probably rooted in some real psychedelic, entheogenic, God-seeking, roots, and then over time, man is corrupted, and the people that run things, like, it's not just greed, it's fucking power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and the Catholic Church is, it became a kingdom, and it was a kingdom that was always fighting for God, and when you're fighting for God, you're always right.
You're always
in the right. And
not a bad strategy.
It's not a bad deal,
you're fighting
for God. What are you going to fuck? What are you going to say?
Which team are you going to be on?
Yeah. So the only way to fight that is to say, yeah, I'm fighting for God too. My God doesn't say that is so.
That's what I always thought. Like, don't let your God be non-inclusive.
But it's also important that we acknowledge the fact that was also taking place in indigenous cultures where tribes were warring and shamans were a lot of times the warlord of the tribe. And we've heard stories of shaman. While these people are fighting with spears, there's medicine men that are fighting in an ethereal plane, man. And so like it's like. We shouldn't say that, that was the corruption and doing things, the communing with God for all the wrong reasons is exclusive to like the Western man. Like, it's been happening everywhere.
We did it first. We did it the best. We are the Western man. I am the Western man. Hold on. Western man. The Western man. Western man. We are Western man. Not bad. Oh, sorry. Hit it again. Remember when I kept hitting the applause to Seth?
I do. That was something.
That
was something. My friend took shrooms on a school ground at 3 a.m. He got flashbacks every time he smoked for like 3 months.
Okay.
I can see that. Did you shit yourself on the ayahuasca? It's funny you should ask. It is. I mean, it happens. It happens to people. It has not happened to me. However,
if you don't poop yourself on psychedelics, you ain't doing it right.
Good morning, Hoosiers. What's up, Kush Coach? How you doing, buddy? It's a lot of people purge by vomiting. I like to think. Was I telling you what I've always imagined? It's kind of a Disney Pixar's Inside Out thing that I've always imagined through the psychedelic experience, which is like you take this medicine, right, psilocybin, ayahuasca, whatever, and when it finally starts to work in your system, it's inside of you and it's pulling all of these. Your body's just it's pulling all of these levers where the body is just trying to expel the poison. So it's hitting the fucking the giggle button, and you're fucking laughing, right? And you're purging through laughter, and then all of a sudden it's yanking
like
the vomit cord,
movie,
and you're
like a Pixar
Inside
movie.
Out, 100%. And sometimes it's yawning.
We gotta do that.
Well, I think Shane even talked about that too. It was like
let's do it.
Where it was like you shoot through a fucking DMT portal inside of your head. But that's how I've always kind of felt that what it was, because I'm typically. My purge is a laugh, which is it's a fun purge, Like, some people have a hard go, some people cry, fucking the whole time. I'm crying right now, but some people laugh uncontrollably, some people vomit, some people shit.
Yeah,
typically you can get to a facility. But hey, listen, if you want to listen to one of the best podcasts I think Steve and I ever did, we went to Kansas City last year. We sat down with my buddy Luke, who's a guy who's sat in many ceremonies and, is very well traveled in the medicine space. And he got into some real powerful medicine that basically that was where he was stuck, was like he couldn't even ask for help because he was afraid if he moved, he was just going to shit all over himself.
Yeah.
That happens. It does.
Oh, yeah.
It's also part of the reason why you want to.
That's good for you. Get all of it out.
Yeah, it's
man.
also why you
that devil baby
why
out of
you
your butt.
You want to probably hit a pretty strict diet leading up to a ceremony for sure. Clean your body out.
Yeah, greasy food.
My buddy Ted used to always say, he's like, a farmer doesn't necessarily change the crops that he's planted, but he's always trying to improve his soil. His soil. And the cleaner the soil, the better the soil.
He's always trying to improve his seed.
Oh, that too. He's trying to put his seed in a little better soil, man, if you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, dude?
The soil ain't always brown.
We can pick up on this on the other side of the break. Let's get to a commercial. We're an hour into this thing.
Let's show them our muscles first,
okay,
dude.
fine, bud.
Okay,
some of those? You ever
sorry,
seen some
guys.
of those, bud?
Sorry, guys.
You've fucking seen some of
Sorry,
those,
guys.
Bud? Guys, these are our sponsors. We hope that you'll do a little bit of business with them. Hang on a second.
If you don't do business with them, I will. What am I gonna do? Burn this place to the ground today? Maybe
fucking fight you.
Oh, if anybody wants to fucking fight, let me know. I'm gonna do a boxing match at the end of this year for charity. I've decided.
Oh, I like that.
Because I just want to get in one fight where I just. So if anybody knows any old women who want to get into a fight, I'll fight them right now.
We'll see you after these messages.
I'll fight an old lady right now on air.
Oh, hey. It's Adam McChesney with Ms. Marketing. We specialize in lead generation, filling your pipeline, and taking care of your payments. Give us a call today.
Adam from Ms. Marketing took me from 10 leads to 300 leads in a month, and I became the strongest boy in the schoolyard.
He increased the revenue for my charter fishing business by 30% in 1 month. Ms. Marketing.
What was that Facebook algorithm? What was that Instagram? Ms. Marketing.
I know it's late, baby, but you got me thinking about my dream home.
Yeah, girl. Bungeon Property Group doesn't just sell houses, they sell dreams. You know when the best time to talk about dreams is? In the middle of the night. That's why Bungeon Property Group is famously open 24 hours a day, so you can whisper sweet nothings in the middle of the night. Oh yeah. Tell me all your dreams of white picket fences, in-ground pools, and I'll find them for you. In an area with a low crime rate, general proximity to nice parks, walking distance to the grocery store, easy access to the highways. A place where you can offer a quality education to your children, all while feeling safe in your front yard while they play. Let me talk that dream house talk to you. Let me be your dream realtor. Adam Bondred.
Hey, DJ Shabba.
Hey, ladies. I'm gonna smoke a little weed, boy. I wanna grow some trees, boy. When I grow all the weed that I smoke, and I blow all the trees that he grows, and I smoke all the weed that I grow, and I grow all the trees that he smokes. Well, I'm growing and I'm smoking, so I go see Bo. Puff, pass. And I smoke what I grow.
Hey, I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Want a poster looking like me. Walking my hound dog, surfing that swamp. Catching crow that do the sweetly stomp. Everybody do the sweetly stomp.
It's a stomp, it's a wiggle. Turn around, a little tickle. It's a stomp, move your feet. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf.
Dude, man, get on down to Sweet Leaf Emporium and do that Sweet Leaf stomp, man.
Hey guys, it's me, Kippy the Crazy Koala Bear, and I'm here to tell you about James Carlton Insurance.
Kids, quiet down.
It's the best.
Kids, quiet down and listen to Kippy.
Grown-ups need insurance, and Uncle James can help.
Right on.
Grown-ups need insurance. He's got the best reviews on Yelp. Grown-ups need insurance if they want to protect their house.
Yes, sir.
Grown-ups need insurance if they want to properly bury a spouse.
That's a bit morbid.
Grown-ups need insurance if they drive a truck.
Okay.
Grown-ups need insurance just so they don't get...
Whoa, Kippy, you can't...
Well, I was just going to say
cannot.
get in trouble.
Okay, well, it
you
sounded
don't
like you
want
were
to
going
get
to
in trouble.
like you were going to say something else. James Carlton, State Farm Insurance. You can find him online at carltoninsurance.net, or you can call him at 314-961-4800.
Native hemp inside of me. 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 I got 1,800 milligrams going real good down my throat. When I wake up in the morning and I need a pick-me-up, well, I grab my bottle of native hemp and I splash it on my tongue. Lap, lap, lap. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me.
Native hemp extract, available at HoosierSophisticate.com. Enter code HOSO, H-O-S-O, at checkout for an additional 30% off.
Hits, man.
Hold on to your tatas.
We got religious in the first hour. People won't do that. People are like, oh, I'm not talking about religion with
We talked
people."
about race issues last night. We got religion. Tomorrow is all politics. And then
How are we going to learn if we don't talk about
that's
this
the
with
deal.
people?
That's the deal.
But
my
also,
man.
fuck you for everything you said in the first hour. We're not friends anymore.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That's how all these conversations are supposed to end.
You know, just to and maybe later on we can kind of revisit.
Oh, somebody wants to fight me on the
some psychedelics. It looks like maybe our sponsor
Dennison
does.
Collard wants to fight me. Dennison, what you weighing in at, bud? He's about 5'9", 5'10", right?
Dennison?
I'd say he's 5'10", 165. Because I'm 5'10", 170.
He might be about 5'9", $155, $160.
You think he's a little more wiry? I got big thighs. I don't look like I should be. And I'm going to do this the rest of the show.
Yeah, keep doing it. No, it sounds good.
Just to make sure people know that this is coming for him. Because I'm kind of tough, Craig.
Delete this.
I'm kind of tough.
You're a tough guy. You're a tough guy.
I'm the strongest one
in the schoolyard.
I'm the coolest one in the schoolyard. 12-year-old Steve, if he saw that video, he'd be like, oh, future me is the king of the fucking world, man. He really would. 12-year-old Steve would look at Leo Shaboom and go, God dang, future Steve, you've done it. What is this, on Saturday Night Live or something, man? This is the best thing. And then he would turn into me now and go, oof. From that video, I thought career-wise you might have been doing a little better, you know? Speaking of doing poorly career-wise, if you guys could help us share the Twitch stream, that's the way we're going to grow this baby. Every day we're seeing this. Wait, maybe I should do it like this. Every day we're seeing like this. Our analytics with the Twitch, and I like that. It's
a nice,
giving me
steady climb.
hope, because I hope we provide a little value. I hope when we talk about growing cannabis, different ways to open your mind, ways to connect with people.
Sure.
Dick jokes.
A lot of dick jokes.
Philosophical questions. Whenever we do stuff like that, I hope that we can grow some sort of new age community that, is part religion, part spirituality, part school, part, fucking hangout club, part just like, fuck party. You know what I mean? Just go get all those things together.
Yep.
We just have a good old time with each other, just getting the most out of this little meat bag experience.
Yeah. Dennison says, I am the strongest boy
Okay,
in
this
the
is
schoolyard.
1 year from today.
My terms are that we first eat 400 milligrams of THC.
Perfect.
Smoke 2 massive bong hits.
Perfect.
And at least 1 dab before we fight.
Perfect.
Is that how you're? Is that what you're
That's
trying
what
to do?
I'm going to do anyway before I do it. I did notice I could play soccer. I didn't start smoking weed till I played soccer later. But I told you about that one dude who we were like in high school, probably freshman or sophomore year, and I remember the kids lobbying. This kid was a captain on my team, and he looked like a quintessential, I'm going to go follow fish or whatever. Like, that's as a high school kid, I was like, that's the dude.
I'm with you.
That's the kid. He
That's
smokes
the crazy
weed drugs.
stoner guy.
He smokes weed drugs.
Sure.
And they lobbied with him, and the coach is like, I can't let this kid smoke weed before the game. And he's like, just let him smoke some weed before the game. So my coach, knowing him, he was probably like, okay, well, here's the keys to my car. Park it over there and go. Okay, well, they smoked. I remember they got to smoke, and I'm like peering. We're in an out-of-town soccer tournament, so I'm peering around the hotel corner. I'm watching from like this vantage point, and so he smokes up, and he has the game of his fucking life, and I'm like, damn, how did he do that, man? So then I smoked, but I remembered every once in a while when I would get real high for an indoor soccer game, I'd be running, I'd be sprinting, but then once I got like pretty tired after sprinting a few times, I don't sprint anymore. I would be like, and one leg was, I swear to God, just about this much shorter than the other one.
Sure.
What's happening?
What's going on? You're like a dog with shoes on.
I was, yeah, exactly, like a cat fucking wearing socks. Oh, shit.
I want to beat your meat bag, Steve.
Get it, son.
400 milligrams is pussy amounts. Go
Thank
4,000 at least.
Thank
I
you.
used to train for fights high as hell. That's a lot of cannabis before a fight. You're both just going to giggle the whole time.
No, I'll beat the living
Hoosier
hell
backyard
out of
wrestling. You guys
Dennison.
need to
I've
do
been
this in the
waiting to do
nude.
it.
Cocks a flopping. It's snowball fight time.
No, it's not.
Dennison and Steve need to oil up and get this thing started. I've got a serious steel hard-on. Ooh, squirt.
Okay. Dennison?
Dennison and Stevie.
All right, I'll fight him 1 year from today.
You're going down, Dennison.
Dennison, have you ever fought anybody before, like in a real...
He's fought people in 14 different theaters, dude.
I'm saying like, oh yeah, he's probably trained.
Yeah, they were porno theaters. He was a bouncer at a place that did skin flicks.
It was just...
Times Square.
It was called the Rough Times Club, where it's a lot of rough sex happening there.
Oh, yeah.
Rough Times, Only Hearts Club.
That dude has punched out in a noose or two in his day.
Oh, my God. We've
Maybe
seen
3.
it.
I saw it one time.
I saw it one time. 2 times for me.
He said, you guys want to know if I'll sponsor your show? We're going to find out right now.
Hey, man. And he just picks a random guy off the street.
Yeah.
And punches his butthole out.
That's what it is. Hey, guys, I'm not banned anymore.
I punched a guy so hard in the stomach one time. I went.
Did you really?
I punched him so hard, his butthole came out.
Did you prolapsed his anus and pulled it back through?
I don't know. Maybe Dennison doesn't want to fight that.
You're a badass, dude.
Maybe he doesn't want to fight a guy like that.
Dennison has probably also been heavily trained in hand-to-hand combat, if I had to guess. Well,
yeah, I know. I forgot.
That's
I
Steve's
forgot.
deal. That's Steve's deal.
It's
Steve
kind of my
likes
kink,
to-
though. Challenge people who are tougher than me to fight. Which is not hard. That's not hard. That's not a small list.
We got into spirituality a little bit. We talked about psychedelia. Maybe we'll get back on that. I've got
that's
an
third
article.
hour talk.
I know. I've got it. Well, we're just full-time drug, sex, and rock. and roll
Nope,
for now.
nope. I had a post from last year. I said, "What's your friend's favorite drug?"
And
What-
Facebook warned you?
Yeah.
Did they really?
They said if you do that again, you're done.
You're done in this town.
That's what they told me. They said I was done in this town. I know what it feels like. I don't like it.
You don't like it at all. You better apologize to Kush Coach right now.
I'm sorry, Coach. That doesn't feel good.
From STL today.
But you're done in this town.
From STL today.
Yeah.
While scores of would-be entrepreneurs sit out,
5'10", yeah. Right.
barred from
12-inch
participating.
dick.
Barred from participating in Missouri's medical marijuana program.
Oh, we're getting to this?
A select number of cannabis businesses are racing to cash in on
You're
the
gonna do
state's
this to
newest
me right
industry.
now?
The Department of Health and Senior Services, as of Friday, had cleared 17 dispensaries to open their doors, as well as 11 cultivators and 1 manufacturer of cannabis-infused products. Not all of the approved businesses, including the lone manufacturer, have started selling product. Those lucky winners, critics say, are beneficiaries of arbitrary caps on the number of licenses and of a flawed scoring process which have reduced the availability of medical cannabis in limited competition. Joseph Bednar, attorney for the Sarcoxy Nursery Cultivation Center,
We should talk to him.
a losing applicant suing the state to overturn Missouri's licensing caps, said the limits harm patient access to medical cannabis in violation of the constitutional amendment that instituted the state's program. He said the state system has caused more weed scarcity and limits where it is sold, increasing costs for consumers, some of whom might have to travel long distances to purchase medical marijuana.
He's right.
The more expensive the medicine is, the fewer patients that can afford the medicine. You have both a geographic issue of access and an economic issue of access.
Spot on.
He's nailing it so far.
Dead nuts.
Bednar and attorneys for the state made their cases at a trial in late October before Cole County Circuit Judge Patricia Joyce.
Man, what a weird name.
What was so hard about
Never
that?
seen that name before.
She has not ruled on whether the state's current licensing scheme can stand.
Oh, I like how you emphasize scheme.
In addition to the Sarcoxy lawsuit, which challenges the constitutionality of the state scoring program, businesses filed 853 appeals with the Administrative Hearing Commission this year seeking licenses after being rejected. As of this week, 739 cases were still pending, said Lisa Cox, spokeswoman for the state health department and wife of one of the license winners and lawyers for many of the groups that are fighting to keep licensing scarce. The flood of lawsuits that spokeswoman for the state health department. The flood of lawsuits followed a scoring process applicants said was fraught with perceived conflicts of interest and inconsistent scoring, which undermined trust in the program. Proponents of the state's rollout, including Jack Cardetti, spokesman for the Missouri Medical Cannabis Trade Association, or MoCan Trade, say Missouri has licensed more businesses than most other medical marijuana states, Steve. He said prices will decrease as more of the state's cultivation facilities begin growing, harvesting, and processing weed. This will be the highest prices are ever going to be in Missouri as more cultivators come online. Those prices will drop. State rules. Cardetti is an investor in QPS Missouri Holdings, which won 6 licenses. No QPS location had been approved to operate as of Friday. Cardetti is a Democratic strategist who was instrumental in the 2018 passage of Amendment 2, the question legalizing medical marijuana. He can be heard advocating for licensing caps at least as far back as October 2018 when Amendment 2 was on the ballot alongside 2 competing ballot measures. Cardetti said then at a forum in Kansas City that the U.S. Department of Justice wouldn't go after Missouri if it followed certain rules and regulations, one of them being addressing oversupply of marijuana by capping licenses. They don't want more being produced than is going to be legally consumed by medical marijuana patients, he said at a Kansas City forum in 2018, so that's why there has to be some type of cap. Bednar argues the state has always intended to limit licenses, pointing to Department of Health and Senior Services Director Dr. Randall Williams. Some of you might know him as pencil dick bow tie wearing fuck. Personal views that marijuana is as addictive as opioids, and early contacts regulators had with MoCan trade officials. The director of the Department of Health and Senior Services says that marijuana is as addictive as opioids. Bednar wrote in his post-trial brief that on November 15th, 2018, Days after voters approved the medical marijuana amendment, Mitch Myers, an officer of belief in Earth City, the eventual winner of 12 licenses, contacted Williams by email, advising Williams that it is a true disaster. It is a true disaster to allow the number of licenses that Oklahoma does. Let me repeat that again. Mitch Myers, an officer of belief in Earth City and winner of 12 licenses, contacted Williams by email, advising it would be a true disaster to allow the number of licenses that Oklahoma does.
That's NBEV, or Anheuser-Busch,
Yeah.
Mitch Myers, who of Spuds McKenzie
Fame. That's right. Who didn't love Spuds?
So thank God, someone from, the alcohol industry is here telling us how to run the cannabis program.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if Anheuser-Busch didn't have to deal with Miller and all of these other deals, they could have probably set their beer prices at whatever they wanted to.
Say hello to Rolling Rock. Now it's $5
Yeah.
Thing.
For the
We bought
30
it.
pack?
Yeah, so fuck you. So kindly.
Bednar says the state lacked a rational basis for issuing the caps, violating state law governing the rulemaking process. Lawyers for the state disagree. In an October deposition, Lyndall Fraker, director of the state's medical marijuana program, said that in general, limits on the number of sellers in a market could increase consumer prices. Yeah, Lyndall, we didn't need you to help us understand what supply and demand looks like and what a surplus of medicine on the market would eventually do for prices, who would ultimately make patients the winners, whatever. So would you then agree with me that when you limit the number of sellers in the market, it has an impact on price? Bednar asked. There could be an effect, Fraker said. Bednar asked why the people of Boonville, for example, wouldn't have a dispensary nearby. There will be many towns and many folks in Missouri that won't have a dispensary in their town. Well, it is true, but it shan't be.
Well, even if they allowed all the licenses, I'm sure some towns would.
Yeah, well, sure. A small town wouldn't, but town
I don't
like
know. I don't know.
a town like Boonville, I would.
think every town's gotta probably have one. Now that I think about it,
I
like
would.
even like the little towns we go.
You got
through,
a
like,
coffee shop in
Yeah.
small towns. Like, why wouldn't you be able to just
Exactly.
keep a limited amount of
Yep.
cannabis?
Alaska,
on
I
the
was
shelf?
just thinking about someone was just
That's
telling
what
me
I'm
about
saying.
Alaska.
Like,
They have-
all of these fucking rules they
Yeah,
make.
no,
what,
don't
I'll
get
tell
it
you,
out of the fucking way.
What they do is they make it cost prohibitive for these companies to pop up in. Very rural Missouri. If there weren't rules and it was just like, yeah, you can compete in this, just make sure you follow these rules. You still have to participate in metric. You still have to do all of this. But yeah, you can compete. You don't have to have this much liquid or whatever. Okay, cool. I'm going to open a 300 square foot storefront that has
For sure.
4 different kinds of flour, 2 concentrates, and a couple edible choices.
We grow right out here.
Yep.
We grow
Yep.
right out here. We get to. Ooh, fuck! I didn't even think of that.
After some
dude.
more dialogue, Bednar asked, is it your rule that prevents others from being licensed in that city, correct? And Fraker says, yes. Yes.
Okay, so is it your rule that?
In other words, he after asking him about why Boonville wouldn't have, he said there'd be a lot of Missouri towns that wouldn't have one. Bednar said, but it's your rule that sees to it that those towns won't have one. So he was making him clarify that yes, the state has imposed these limits.
Gotcha.
That is keeping these smaller towns from having. And Boonville's not the smallest.
No.
town. We've been to Boonville. Like it's
Yeah, we've seen
it's
it.
got it's few thousand people. Like
people
enough
wouldn't
to
want one right outside the casino.
100%.
Sinners.
First to market. Bethany White, who I love, by the way. Bethany's a darling. She's great. Bethany White, director of
I enjoy
marketing
her.
for Clover Cannabis in Kansas City, said the company is planning to stock dispensary shelves with marijuana-infused products as early as this week. So good news is, if you are shopping in dispensaries, there should be some, I think, concentrates and some edibles and things like that.
And chocolates and gummies. Medicine, chocolates, and gummies. And sodas, because that's what I want to take my medicine in a sugary soda.
Excuse me. The company's co-founder is Josh Mitchum, who had been on the board of MoCan Trade.
That's your buddy.
Seeing a theme here?
It's your buddy.
He said in an interview with the Kansas City Star that he will have a built-in advantage over other companies.
He said that out loud?
Oh, yeah. Because we're going to be the first to open, obviously, it gives us a really good stronghold on shelf space, Mitchum said. And once you get shelf space, you got to mess up pretty bad in order to lose it to competitors.
What's he doing?
I like it. I like that he's just a gunslinger. He's just like, hey, look, my dick's on the table. This is the deal. This is how it's going to go. I got all.
Oh, he's an advocate.
Of what?
Oh, he's just a part of the Advocate series in Greenway. He's a true advocate.
But White said the company, despite its advantage, isn't taking anything for granted. We realize we have to create great products, good quality products, or we lose that shelf space, she said. While dispensaries are limited to selling flower now, shipments of clover edibles, pre-rolled joints, and other items will open up a world of new products for patients. As it stands, Clover is the only company approved to manufacture and sell the products. White mentioned the Sway dispensaries in St. Peter's, owned by Belief, and 2 In Bliss dispensaries in Ellisville and near Manchester as 3 St. Louis area dispensaries stocking its products. Officers of both Belief and In Bliss have been involved with Mocan trade. Looking forward, Cardetti said it's only a matter of when, not if, when asked whether Missouri would legalize recreational marijuana, but he said it was too soon to discuss the specifics regarding possible ballot initiatives. Representative Wiley Price, Democrat from St. Louis, filed legislation this month to fully legalize adult cannabis use in Missouri. Price said he opposes caps on the number of licenses, believing that the more businesses there are, the more money that will be generated for state coffers. I want a free market, Price said. This is the only enterprise where we're capping the money that can come back to the state. Why are we doing that?
No money should go back to the state.
If you open a business and it's a successful business, go for it, man. Welcome to America. Welcome to capitalism.
Why should we even tax it? They were wrong about it. We shouldn't give the government any money.
60% of taxes generated through this plan would go toward general revenue. 20% would go to substance abuse services. 10% would go to K through 12 education. 5% to law enforcement for public education and training campaigns, and 5% would go to promoting participation in the industry among minorities. He said the legislature should take the lead and legalize marijuana in 2021, in part to deflate any eventual ballot initiative in 2022, which would assuredly dictate where tax money flowed.
Where does the other 40% of the tax money go?
60 of it goes towards general revenue, then 20 goes to so that was the other 40% there. It's unclear how much momentum his proposal will have in the GOP-controlled legislature. No other Republicans had proposed similar legislation as of this week. Price predicted marijuana legalization in Missouri would trigger an economic explosion, and that it would be the biggest thing to hit Missouri since Budweiser.
What?
Steve, your thoughts, bud?
I fucking hate people sometimes, bud. And oh, buddy, was I so naive when I first got into this little radio gig with you? Was I so naive? I just thought everyone's going to be in it to get a little, here we are, we're getting freedom and we're getting people out of jail and people are opening businesses with their hard-earned money. It's like, do we want to open a dispensary? We could. No, let's cover it on the radio. That'll be better. And let's not talk to the big high players in the game and stuff like that, because if you notice too, there's been certain people who have been kind of quiet behind the scenes, very loud when there were decisions to be made, but to come on the show or get on the internet or do anything on Facebook, no, not at all. There were people just making all deals behind the scenes because we were the 33rd state to legalize it. People had seen big dollar signs, which I think is dog shit. No one should be getting rich off fucking cannabis. You're going to get balls deep rich out of cannabis. It doesn't make sense to me economics wise, because cannabis is something that grows all over and people can grow it themselves. It doesn't make sense that one person can be like, I'm a fucking billionaire off this shit. Yeah, you can get rich, but you're not going to be like, I own AT&T rich, And some of these motherfuckers that we've met in the industry are just, yeah, buddy. And it's become cliche to say, the suits, here come the suits. Mm-hmm. But no, there are some greed mongers here.
Yeah.
And if this was just capitalism at its finest, I wouldn't care, bud. But everyone is pissing on me, telling me it's rain when they say it's medicinal marijuana. You know? No. It's cannabis. Let's just fucking stop being, stop making difficulties out of nowhere. It's cannabis. It's either legal or it's not. You either let the licenses go or you don't. You let us grow or you don't. Why add all of this shit? And the reason they did at the beginning is they said,
well, no one's going to vote for anything if it's too loose. You can't have all this stuff. You can't let people grow as much as they want. You can't. Come on, that's just insane, Steve. How can we do anything like that? You're talking crazy talk, guy.
To which I reply, let's just let the people decide. We did it 10 years ago. People would say, Missouri is never going to allow cannabis. Never, ever. You're crazy. Well, then it's like, well, you're crazy not to. And I hate when I hear a Fraker go, well, we were the 5th or 6th fastest. We should have been the first fastest. We watched 30 other states do it and go through, okay.
Dude,
that's what they did.
Oklahoma?
That's what they did.
Oklahoma literally went, bing. We sell weed now.
That's all you have to do. Because guess what? The people who watch this show and the people who fucking have gravitated towards our group, we've all been outlaws for a long fucking time, man. And now it's just a more complex way to be an outlaw. It's like, yeah, you can have a little bit here, just do this. Yeah, no, but follow these rules, don't do this. I was thinking about plant count the other day because I'm growing for the first time legally, which feels great. Okay, fine, you're not punching me in the dick on the weekends. Great, I appreciate that. But when I'm growing these cannabis plants, when we get down to this 14 inches tall, you could have 6 this way, 6 this way, 6 this way. And if you got a caregiver, you got this. If you got a grower, you got this. If you got this, you got that. You got to fill out this card. You got to hang this information. You got to do this. You're a caregiver for him. He's a cultivator. Oh, my plants are 14 inches. I could bend them down, and now they're 13. I could raise them up and be 16. Is this going to be a thing where people are like, hey, guess what? We're raiding homes again. Yeah, you were legal to do it, but you had one extra plant, and now you're a felon. You know, like, I'm almost more scared now to be like, ugh, I just want to stay in compliance the whole time. And I don't want that to be another tool of the government to fucking oppress people and try to take their money. Because a lot of this comes from fucking greed. If you're greedy, get the fuck out. I will weed you out personally if you're in this game for greed. If you're saying, I have a surplus of stuff and I'm going to make some fucking soda out of it, and you're bragging about that shit while we're going to funerals of kids who could possibly have been saved if we had better protocols on fucking RSO, if we had doctors take a fucking step, if we had Mitch Myers take a fucking step, lean into the shit and say, I am a big fucking deal. I can help. I know these people will listen to me. I am a big fucking deal around here. I don't see them at the fucking funerals going, oh yeah, man, RSO could have saved their life. We don't know. No, they're too busy fucking, which billboard should we put up there saying, okay, that's our luxury top shelf cannabis brand. Aren't we the fucking best? And even old Mitchum from fucking Clover, he's in that interview with Greenway. He's like, I'm a capitalist.
He's been
I'm a
spiking the
capitalist.
football
And that's
the whole
why,
time. And you know what? I'm good with it. Just let everybody else be fucking capitalists.
Well, okay, I'm okay with it now, but right now it's medicine. If this was rec, I would have pretty much no problem with anything. It's all bets are off, dude. It's recreational. Like, you want to capitalize this? It's fine. We'll fight it. That's just what people do. That's just what Facebook. They're trying to make Facebook sell WhatsApp and all that shit. It's just business. That's the devil of capitalism, is that you can eventually get so much money you can buy the guy who's going to make you better. But instead of making you better,
dude, give me the opportunity to be bought out. I'll go sit on a fucking beach somewhere.
I know, but it's
you
like,
know what I mean?
It's like every time a guy is getting pretty good on your baseball team, the top player goes, get fucking rid of that guy. And you're like, okay, so you get rid of that guy. So it's like, all right, the team suffers for that because you're fucking constantly selling out or buying this shit. what we've had here happen in Missouri is a fucking travesty. If we were the first state to do it, I could fucking understand. But to posit this as medicine and then treat it like it's totally just, it's fucking more addictive than opioids. That's the guy who's in fucking charge
I'd like to choke
of this shit. So to keep saying medicine and then to keep saying, well, it's capitalism, baby. This is just how it goes. You remind me of that fuck who did God, what was it, Martin Shkreli? Who
jacked up the price of insulin.
That's who you remind me of now. We're run by a fucking world of Martin fucking Shkreli's, dude. They're all Shkreli.
They knock on that in Big Mouth a little bit. Yeah.
Buddy, so I just want everyone to fucking grow their own, and when rec comes, I want to flood the state with the most amount of cannabis we possibly can, and all that surplus, guess what? It's going to low-income people, and we're going to study it here in Missouri. We're going to have our own studies where we do our own trials. We get the best doctors. We'll have them in here. Fucking was Bradshaw's fucking idea. This isn't a new idea. People have talked about it before. We just got to fucking let it happen. And you were talking about small towns being able to get their fucking business up and running. Well, right now the federal government's like, well, you got to fucking... the game is already rigged because you better have a lot of liquid because you're not going to get a bunch of fucking loans. You're not going to be able to go to the bank. You're not going to be able to do all this shit. And that shit might be changing hopefully soon. But that's a fucking huge deal for business owners, man.
Well, you're damn right. Well, actually, matter of fact, I mean, just having talked to people in the industry. By the way, we're going to get to the chat line here because we've had a lot of messages come in here. But I've actually talked to a couple of people that did win dispensary licenses, and this is what's happening. These people are having to keep millions of dollars in the bank. And they're being charged by the banks to do it. They're not even making interest on that money because of the business that they are involved with. So they're being extorted is basically what's happening. That's what's happening right now. Because basically, if a financial institution is willing to work with these people, like I'm not even sure you're not even going to get FDIC insurance. You're not going to get federally fucking insured fucking accounts because it's federally illegal. You're not going to get that.
You're not. You gotta pay your taxes in fucking cash.
I love when Steve gets fired up. I feel a yogurt eruption coming on. Ooh, squirt.
Ooh,
yogurt eruption, Alan? Come on, bud. Come on, bud. Today?
Alan's on one today, bud. He's horned up.
He makes me feel good.
He's a horn dog.
He makes me feel good.
Let's go to the text line here. Going back to you and Dennison fighting. Get a sponsor from a strip club. That'd be the first time seeing that for me. No more fighting for me, says Kush Coach. Epilepsy and headshots.
Oh, good.
Epilepsy and headshots don't mix. I actually think I had a grandma last night. Lisa cocksucker, fucking bullshit. Just grow your own, folks. It's safer and cheaper. Kush Coach says one plant can supply a person for a while. It's easy and fun. Pencil dick bow tie wearing fuck is not a nice man. Okay, that guy probably eats kids too. I hate these bastardos, says Allie. I'll bet he and Satan are married. Will someone take these old fucks out? Every town should. Why not?
Well, we should call James Carlton to murder those people.
I will tell you to grow for free. I will teach you to grow for free. Hit me up if you're growing your own. You don't need a license. That global guy, 100 messages. Thanks for letting us know, bud.
That was fun.
Allie says, is it medicine or not? These assholes act like wreck passed. You're going to deny your grandma her hydrocodone or whatever poison the doctor prescribed? Fucking assholes.
Yep. They'll give you poison.
Kushko says, personally, if every other household grew, it wouldn't matter how many shops there are.
I'm going to tell you, though, Kush Coach, I love where your head's at, but growing's tough.
Yeah.
Like, on the time management, unless you can get a system that kind of does itself. And this is my first grow, so that's why I'm so invested. Maybe if I had a little bit better of a system, but you are invested. That's why I want the government or whoever my fucking dad is to allow people like Kush Coach and those people we know who are in love with it. You can tell they're paying. I'm in love with it too, and he's spreading his love all over me, you know? And it's helping me. It's helping my plants too. But let those people take the fucking leash off those people and say, you can get a grant if you decide to grow such and such medicine for your community. Here's 10 grand. Okay? Because we were wrong about taxes, and we were wrong about locking people up and shit like that. And we've already made so much money off cannabis people that here's 10 grand because we're not going to take any taxes off cannabis. How dare they? How dare they say, oh, a portion of that's ours now. We've been fingering you this whole time. A portion of that's ours. No. So take the fucking reins off people like Kush Coach, off people who want to grow. Give them a check and say, this is for lights, nutrients, soil, whatever.
Totally.
This is your grant to grow medicine because we got Pfizer pumping out a fucking vaccine already to our nurses and doctors, which that's a story for a whole nother show that I'm like, is this happening? Is this really happening? And places like Pfizer are like, we got to come up with this pill and stuff. And I think people on a whole think cannabis is a medicine. Like, no, to be a medicine, you must be in pill form.
Grab my collar and get to work, Steve.
Jesus Christ, Alan.
Ooh, squirt.
Alan, can you stop talking about squirting for 5 seconds? I'm trying to have a serious conversation. God damn it, Alan. He got me.
I'm sorry.
He got me.
That was actually... Come on, Alan. Get it together.
Got me.
Get it together, bud.
Ooh, squirt.
Ooh, squirt.
You know what I mean? That pretty much sums it up.
Well, no. Okay, so they help these people, and I agree with you. There's so much money that's being made. You got millions of dollars to fight us in court. What are you doing to set people up? What are you doing to set people up with their own ability to grow their own medicine at home? Especially when we're saying, oh, there's not enough science out there at the federal level. Not enough science out there to be able to do anything. I mean, it's only the most tested plan of all time. But hey, by the way, we're going to keep you from going from doing any kind of business. We're shutting the world down until everybody gets this thing that we developed in 6 months' time.
Rock and roll. Baby.
Rock and roll. Let's go.
Rock and roll. So, okay, I think the common American thinks my medicine has to come from a doctor in pill form. What blew my mind is hearing that I believe over 90% of pharmaceuticals come from plant derivatives. Like they figured out some sort of
from the
plant.
Amazon.
Yeah. Yes. That blew my fucking... And when I say it, I'm like, I should probably triple check that. I know I've checked it before. Maybe we'll fact check that. But I was like, oh, pharmaceuticals come from the earth, a lot of them. You know, like a lot of them are derived even from things in the earth. And we'll fact check that because I could be totally wrong. And that's kind of where this whole thing's going with this.
7,000 medical compounds prescribed by Western doctors are derived from plants in the Amazon.
Holy shit.
These drugs had an estimated...
That's just the Amazon?
Let me fuck with you here. These drugs had an estimated retail value of $43 billion in 1985.
No. That's even more
35 years ago, they were worth $43 billion.
Holy shit. Okay. So we need to rethink medicine in that way. That our medicine comes from this farmer over here. That's our medicine. Yeah, there's a guy over here who knows about the inside of the body and stuff. Yeah, he's the same guy, or a different guy. But the farmer over here who's growing this organic food, and it's real food for you, and he's has livestock, and we're doing all that, and you're letting these farmers grow cannabis and saying, yeah, that's medicine, not this thing that comes in a shot or a pill. That's medicine. I don't think it'd be so hard once you got that through to people to say, oh, yeah, I don't care if the grade school has a fucking hemp garden. Like, let's teach them about we've tricked kids into drinking wine for all these years at church. We can't have a fucking hemp garden at the public high school. Like, let's hide everything.
What if we said that this? I mean, if the priest has the ability to bless wine into Jesus, certainly he can do it with CBD oil.
1,000,000%.
Why not?
1,000,000%.
You know, wasn't that the anointed oil had cannabis in it? Let's get back to the text line for just a second.
Fine.
Here.
We'll hear what these people are saying.
Let's see here. And Kush Coach is just he's trying to connect real quick. Kush Coach, I will happily hook you up with dude from last night. Dude from last night was Brendan England. He's my brother-in-law. He is. Yeah, I think you guys would have a lot in common. You guys would definitely vibe on each other.
What?
When you get out this way, we'll go hang out at the Cola a little bit.
Brendan's not stealing my friend.
Oh, he's stealing him.
No, not stealing my friend, bud. I know. I'm supposed to be better than him.
You just got to be better.
I got to be
That's
better
the
than
deal.
him.
That's the
Okay,
deal.
cool. Yeah, I'll just be better than him.
Making jobs for me.
Did you hear him play the didgeridoo? I got to
Dude,
be better than that.
He was jamming last night, wasn't he?
I get out there.
We got to do it.
guitar.
We got to do a medicine stream, dude. We got to do it. Beat on some drums.
Oh,
fucking-
we have to get like Jason to hook
We're
up.
gonna get
the
Ryan in
audio
here. We're gonna
right
get
so
Jason.
that-
No doubt. We'll get the loop station in here. We're gonna just make. We're gonna do some weird stuff up in this.
Let's
joint.
do. We got this, man. This isn't a mountain. This is. We can make this anything,
not.
buddy.
That's not a mountain.
Yeah, right down here.
Oh. Yeah. That's
Look
a
at
mountain.
that.
That's a mountain.
Just finger it. It
a
did
mountain
look
back
beautiful out here for the sunrise.
Been getting some pretty good sunrises here. lately.
I hate the morning time. I wake up
Do
and
you?
I'm like, I want to do this.
I took a lot of. I hit the snooze a bunch this morning. I mean, I was up, but I had to get up out of bed because if you hit the snooze and you stay in bed, you're probably going to sleep through the next.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Snooze, but if you hit the snooze, but you make yourself get up, you go sit on the couch or something, stare into the void, stare into the abyss, wondering what exactly you're doing with your life, streaming 6 hours within a
Sure.
a
Sure, I was
9-hour period.
I was there. No one wants to see
You wake
that.
up about 5:45 and you wake up at 5:05 and you hit the snooze 6 times and you're just staring at the wall like, will they miss me? Will they miss me if I didn't do this today?
Sure. I went through that whole thing.
They gonna do that?
No one would.
Nobody.
People would miss you for initially.
Yeah, like I really like that meditation. I really like the first 6
like
minutes
that.
of
And then
the-
eventually their lives would just take over. And
Yeah.
they'd be like, oh,
They're
Craig's
like,
gone.
oh, yeah, I've got stuff to
I
do.
got to do that every once in a while. I got to say, I'll take this all away from you people. And then I do. And they're like, you left? And I'm like, man.
You should do shrooms on stream. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Deems would probably be a little.
Oh,
little wilder.
thanks, Kush Coach. Dang.
The anointing oil was 40% cannabis. Recipes in the Torah right now. I stayed in bed from 6:30 to 7:15, and everyone was late. Ugh.
That was a good
Coach said nobody could replace you, buddy.
I know. That was so nice. I believe him, too.
Nobody could replace you.
All right, here we go. We got some here we go. I wanted to see something they said. It was about capitalism, I believe. The devil of capitalism is not capitalism at all. It's corporatism. The government is too big and too expensive. Smaller government with leaders who have actually read the Constitution is the answer here. Libertarianism is not a pipe dream utopia. Yeah, I like the small idea, man. When you can get small groups together, what do they say about 150? There's like a rule of shit, like a number. When you get outside that, stuff starts getting a little
Gets a
too
little unstable.
But yeah, we cap ours at about 45, you know, good ones, and then we'll shun all the rest of the.
I wish that unfortunately our healthcare system has been hijacked by insurance, and that's been I actually think that. And there's been I think Dr. Lisa Rourke offers this. It has been a push from healthcare providers, from doctors who have tried to kind of circumvent the giant crony fucking insurance industry. That it's the reason the costs of our healthcare are so astronomical is because these hospital systems, which
Charge master.
Yeah, these people are like, you know, they're consistently jacking up the price, sending it to insurance companies, which are then paying these outrageous prices.
Is that what that guy's
but
called?
Then your cash price is significantly less. It's like, listen, let's just fucking agree that this is what it cost. Then insurance becomes.
You ever heard that, Charge Master?
No.
A list detailing the official rate charged by a hospital for individual procedures, services, and goods. I read like an 11-page article, bud, one time. For real.
All 11 pages?
I skimmed through like.
Yeah, sure.
You know. But they referenced this thing called the Charge Master that was just this person that arbitrarily got to pick what each procedure cost in the hospital because there was no market for it, that it wasn't, and that when people go to an ER, they can't, if they got a broken leg, they're not like, hey, how much is the broken leg procedure here? And they go, it's, $17,000. They go, oh, fuck, that hospital over there is way cheaper.
I had an idea
So
for
the
this.
whole article was about that. And when I read about the charge master, I was like, you got to be shitting me, because just in the New York area, they did rotator cuff surgery or something, and one guy was like 300, one was like 15 grand.
Yeah,
it was all these arbitrary
dude.
numbers. So that's what the charge master going.
So when I was in maybe just coming out of high school, my buddies and I feel like it was a little later than that because eBay was kind of starting to really kind of pick up steam. And my buddies and I were sitting around like thinking, well, how do we build a website like eBay, right? But the website, it functions like eBay, but what it is it's for healthcare providers. It's for doctors. It's for specialists. Because most doctors want to specialize in certain things.
Why are you saying this on the air?
You want me to
right
shut
now?
up right now? You think you can do this? Well, I'll tell you why, because they're never going to allow this.
Yeah,
to
no
happen.
doubt.
So the idea behind this function is great if health insurance is allowed to be sold across state lines, but it's not. It's it's fucking outrageous. Like, why we can't do health insurance more like car insurance is just it's silly to me.
Can you call hospitals right now and say, well, how much is this surgery?
I mean, you can negotiate, sure.
Can you call different hospitals and say, well, how much is your surgery here? How
Oh,
much?
I don't know if they'd be able
if
to
they
tell
give you the
and
price.
I mean, if there's a set price, I don't know. But that was kind of what I was getting at is like, first off, it would make the medical community better. It would make doctors, specialists, it would make them better because they would be able to hone in on certain crafts, right? They wouldn't be like these GPs. They wouldn't be doing a jack of all medical trades. Like
specialist.
this guy, yeah, maybe a urologist for sure. Like I like to one guy, but then even within urology, like there's all kinds of
urology,
segmented. There's all kinds of segmented
phone.
cock specialists. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was getting to it. One guy is in penile stretching. You know. Another one is in shortening.
Yeah, it's kind of like Cameo or like Cams.
It's more like Fiverr. Like it's Fiverr.
Okay.
It's Fiverr for doctors.
Okay.
And so you blow your wheel playing fucking softball. You get on this site and you're like, hey, here's the deal. I'm looking for a cash price. I live in this area. The MRI shows that I have a torn ACL and MCL with
Jimmy
some
the doctor take care of you for
slight
$40
meniscus
down
damage.
the street.
All of these doctors, and that's one of the services that the doctors actually pay to be a part of the platform, right? Because then it allows them to specialize. And the platform, in turn, they make sure that these doctors are all people with, practicing licenses and they're, everything safe. If you could do that, you would see the cost of healthcare plummet, significantly reduced, because you would have people competing again, but you would also have people specializing. But we can't do that because of the way that our fucking insurance is set up. Insurance companies are the bane of our existence, except for James Carlton, who's the best insurance agent in the world. No, but health insurance is a racket, though.
So and I wish car insurance a little bit.
Yeah, but give me the opportunity for health insurance to be sold across state lines, like you can do with home insurance or car insurance, and you're also going to see all of these insurance companies have to compete with their rates for you, and also they can start going back to the hospitals. It's like the same thing with fucking student loans, dude. All of these things are driven by fucking guaranteed loans and guaranteed payments to giant conglomerates, right? So the fucking reason why college, the cost of college is just increasing, ever increasing exponentially, is because our government guarantees that if you have this scholarship or this grant, they're going to pay that amount of money. So every year they raise tuition over and over, knowing that a Sally Mae fucking loan is going to cover the cost of the tuition. It's never ending for them to just add costs and add costs and add costs. And then what they do
it
is
gets to a breaking point.
It will. We're about there.
We're
about there because we're learning that because Harvard is still trying to charge for what Harvard was charging for before, which many times graduates of Ivy League schools would say, hey, it's not that the education is, or the curriculum is that much more challenging than some of the state schools and things like that. It is that the peers that you are sitting in lecture halls with and exchanging ideas with, that's what you're paying for when you go to the Ivy League. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? We're all learning from our basements now on a computer. So what are you charging for now?
Harvard University has a $20.4 billion endowment. It's not bad. That's not bad.
Do you think your government spends too much tax money on the military? Yes, by about
Fuck yes.
by a number that is fucking so insane.
But we'll kick Denmark's ass right now.
We'll sock you right in there. Oh, by the way, I did want to just shout out. I want to shout out that global guy. I do want to shout out that global guy. We got an email saying that our podcast is ranked in Denmark.
We're ranked in Denmark. We're ranked in Denmark.
All for you, global guy. For real though, our podcast is ranked in Denmark, and I think that's fucking great. Now, that could be because nobody's listening to podcasts in Denmark, or it could be because that global guy was like, "You guys got to tune in to these fucking knuckleheads that I listen to from St. Louis, Missouri. These guys are crazy. What does that even mean?" We are. We are. It came up. I don't know. For improv comedy podcast, we are now ranked in Denmark. So I don't know if you're subscribed or, maybe you told some buddies and they started subscribing.
Hey, I got a little message for you. Jag älskar den globally free.
Fear. I love the global guy.
No, don't say it. It was just a little message between me and him, man.
Oh, I thought I was translating.
No.
I speak fucking Danish.
I know you do. You don't have to. Oh.
I could replace you in a second, Steve.
No, you
with
can't.
a hot fireman. Ooh, squirt.
Gross.
You ranked in our 16.
Jeg elsker den globale fyr.
Oh, he said he loves you too. We don't have to keep.
Jeg elsker den globale fyr.
Just beautiful language.
It is actually a beautiful language. I like it.
Beautiful language.
I'm a fan. You better fucking put some respect on it.
I am.
Okay.
I'm with him.
All right, I just want to make sure, dude.
I
just want to make sure don't fucking.
I'm with it.
Don't be. We actually. This is not a bit. We are actually ranked in Denmark. Who is this? Who we got in here? Just walking around. What's up, girl?
Oh. Freaked me out for a second, dude.
I thought I saw a little phantom shadow walking around out there before. I wasn't going to get...
It's time for a break anyway.
He understood
time
when
for
you
a break
said
where
it.
we smash
he
people who
understood
come
when you
in
said
here.
it. You're good at Danish. Congratulations on your international success.
God,
Look at you, dude. Guys, it's time for a commercial. When we Denmark is a city in New Jersey, right? I've been to Jersey.
Hilarious.
I like Jersey. I've had some fun. I always consider New Jersey the Missouri of the Northeast. Guys,
Good for you.
it's a little taste of home. Guys, on the other side of the break, we're gonna talk about DMT entities. This is your DM.
He's not from Denmark.
This is your DMTs.
Oh, every time it's gonna do that, Greg?
We need to get a new computer, bud.
James Carlton Insurance 314-961-4800.
Handsome, amazing, astonishing,
Astounding,
fabulous,
incredible,
fantastical,
phenomenal,
prodigious,
stupendous,
unbelievable,
wondrous,
divine,
fantastical.
No, seriously, he's fantastical.
You got a house.
Go on and get it insured.
You got a car.
You gotta get it insured.
You got a life.
Go on and get it insured. Carlton Insurance.net.
Hey, boys and girls, I'm talking about native hemp extract. That CBD.
That CBD.
Inside of me.
Inside of me.
That CBD.
That CBD.
Sweet delicious CBD. That CBD.
That CBD.
Got the CBD. CBD native hemp. That CBD.
That CBD.
You can get it from me.
I can.
That CBD.
That CBD.
Inside of me.
Inside of me.
That CBD.
That CBD.
Inside of me.
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 No. Inside of me.
Inside of me.
Inside of me.
Native hemp extract. 1,800 milligrams of total cannabinoid goodness from Pike County, Illinois. Get yours at HoosierSophisticate.com.
I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Want a poster looking like me. Checking the swamp man for a pretty girl. Being an outlaw in an outlaw world. Hey, I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Want a poster looking like me. Walking my hound dog, serving that swamp. Catching crow that do the sweetly stomp. Everybody do the sweetly stomp.
It's a stomp. It's a wiggle, turn around, a little tickle. It's a stomp, move your feet, head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf.
Dude, man, get on down to Sweet Leaf Emporium and do that Sweet Leaf stomp, man.
James Carlton. James Carlton. James Carlton. You gotta get your insurance. Gotta get that State Farm insurance.
You think you found the best insurance agent in the game? Well, I got news for you. I did, and it's James Carlton. State Farm. CarltonInsurance.net.
961-4800.
Welcome back, Hoosier Sophisticate Show, Hour 3. Here comes Steve. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Well, you better just... We're back to talk about weed and stuff, man.
Are we?
I don't know.
This is the sex hour, bud.
Oh, you want to talk about sex? You want to pull up some? Want to pull up some sexy talk, pal?
A little sexy talk. Oh,
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. Let's pull it up. What do you guys want to know about sex today?
I got something for you. Don't worry about it.
You got something for me, bud?
Yeah, bud.
I got something for you, pal.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do. Right in your kisser.
You got one of these?
I got one of those, bud. You
got
ever
one
see?
of
You ever
these,
seen
bud?
one of those, bud?
Let's try to punch. You punch as hard as you can. I'll punch as hard as
Oh,
you
and
can.
just see what happens with our knuckles.
What
What do you got for me, man?
This is a surprise.
Oh, okay.
I'll get it.
Okay. In the
Get it
meantime,
pulled up. Good morning, Kimberly Mahoney. Thank you for everything you do.
yeah, she's what a great addition to the. Let's talk about that a little bit. Friday after the show, we did what we called almost Live Aid. Pretty much Live Aid.
Pretty much
It was pretty much Live Aid.
I've already blocked that out of my
Steve
memory.
and I, Steve was just playing the jams. He was bringing the tasty jams. I was singing my
You
heart,
and
little
Missy are
heart out.
such good singers. I
Dude,
realized
no,
next to you guys,
no.
and I'm like, fuck,
No,
you
no.
pitchy dog.
I was so pitchy.
I'm pitchy,
the
dog.
pitchy one. No, no, no.
I'm the pitchy
I'm
one,
the pitchy
dog.
one, bud.
You're killing it on the xylophone. You got a whole deal, man. You're charming up there. I'm like, I'm taking a
Dude,
dump.
there was a
I'm taking a dump. My
rewatching
face
the video.
gets so
You
red.
so red.
So red.
It
What's
was the
wrong
coolest.
with my face?
It was the best, dude. You were singing fucking from your balls.
No, I'm singing from right here. I need to sing
that's
from
what it is.
here.
You need to
yeah.
get down here, bud.
Yeah.
You're like,
I need to sing from my nuts.
my face.
I need to sing from my nuts, bud. I got a big deal coming up too, maybe on the 21st.
Ooh.
We
Okay.
do.
Yeah, we do, don't
For
we?
the show.
Okay.
We're going to do a Christmas extravaganza.
Okay.
I got it in the works.
Well, that's next
Live
That's
show.
like next week. It's
Guys,
like
if you
Monday.
want to come up Monday, I'm inviting you. But
Monday.
The list is small. The list
Yeah.
is very small. We're only allowing 20 people in here because of social distancing.
Kimberly Mahoney has been an amazing addition with all her wonderful help. She really has. She's donated. She donated a ton during
Thank you,
our
Brian
pretty
Kessler.
much Live Aid. Brian's been doing some pretty awesome stuff. We've been
Brian's
helping some
great.
families leading up to Christmas. The three of us had
He's
a
a
hell
horrible
of a time,
person.
Saturday night, just watching goofy
Hell of a
movies, drinking
time.
some brews, watching some old '90s jams. It was awesome. I had a really good time.
I had a good time
I
with
laughed my little butt off, bud.
Me too.
I really
We
did.
laughed.
MacGruber
We
was
laughed
great.
hard.
Will you pay for the plane tickets? I'll come then. Sure. Yeah.
Who's that global guy?
Global
yeah, what's
guy?
it from
Sure.
Denmark?
Yeah,
About
how much
40,
does it
50
cost?
bucks?
Yeah, as long as it's
About
less
50
than
bucks?
like $89.99, we'll get
Yeah,
you here.
we got you.
Was it easier to get weed than
That's
alcohol?
non-negotiable.
Was it easier to get weed than alcohol when you were under 21? Not in St. Louis.
It's so easy to get booze.
I mean, it's easy to get both, but I mean,
No, it was way easier to
but
get
you
booze.
could walk into a store
Way
and get
easier.
booze.
Everybody
Especially-
had booze.
Everybody had a friend. That's the thing. Everybody had a friend who could probably go in and buy alcohol without identification. And on top of that, most households had at least a 30-pack.
Yes.
In a fridge or something,
Yes.
or some bottles of liquor in a cabinet that were pretty easily accessible.
Yes. 1,000,000%. All right, buddy. You ready for this? This is what our fans like the most.
Pig.
What that? Go ahead. What was that, Alan?
Tell me your surprise, squirt pig.
Tell me your surprise, Squirt Pig.
I think that's what he was saying. You had a surprise.
Oh, tell me your surprise, Squirt Pig. That's a type of pig. Are those pigs that live on those islands? that
Yeah,
swim? Squirt
yeah,
pigs?
Bay of Pigs.
No. 10 things every woman wishes you did during sex, guys. This is 10 things every woman on earth wishes.
Now, is this
you
according
did during
to
sex?
Is this according to
According
Cosmo
men's.
or who's this
men's.
according
This
to?
is a men's
Oh,
magazine.
men are writing
Men's
this one.
journal, so
Oh,
this
ought
one's
to
men's.
Be rich. This ought to be rich. See if
Sadly-
you can dumb it down for the
Yeah, I know. It's simples.
for the simples.
For the simples. Sadly, lots of men don't know how to tune in to their female lovers. I hear stories over and over again about how men are just not responding to the signals that women send. Learn to be a responsive, tuned-in lover, and you will gain serious appreciation from your partners.
That's true.
Says Pella Wiseman.
That's his name?
That's his name? Licensed marriage therapist, along with verbal expression. Thank you. Pay attention to their bodily cues. Moaning,
Hang on a second.
Heavier
I'm
breathing.
looking up Pella Weissman.
Increased lube.
Because if this is a broad telling me what
and
to
do
we
more
can
of that.
just shut up right now.
Oh, man.
That's right.
If you're not sure how to interpret a signal, be direct and just ask.
I knew that. I knew Pella. I knew that's exactly what you look like, young lady.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's what every
okay.
sexpert
Yeah,
in
you're
these
right.
journals looks
Big
like.
old smile, double teeth smile.
Strawberry blonde hair, see-through skin.
Does that feel good? Do you like that?
Cold,
Does that hurt?
dead eyes.
Does that hurt? Your partner may have been too shy to tell you, but we'll appreciate that you asked, says Weissman. Likewise, if you're not sure if your partner is ready for a certain act like the Amazon, consent is sexy, to quote the very popular university campaign.
Dude, I'll tell you
slogan.
what, one time, real quick, just to build on that, one time, me and this gal, we were fucking getting at it, dude. We were making out. We were feeling each other up. And what I did was I got it was a 4-page consent contract for her to sign.
You're not gonna do
and
that.
she blew her load all over the floor as soon as
What'd
I
you
put
do?
the
It's
contract
gonna-
on the table.
It's going to be like
I said,
the-
here, sign here. That there's consent. And she goes,
They're just gonna have to do that thing with the consent cam.
it just came so hard.
I got
a Charlie horse, bud.
You know the consent cam from Black Mirror? I think that's Black Mirror, right? Where they hit it,
Yeah.
and they go, "I consent to this," and
Yep.
the other person goes, "I consent to this too," right before they bone up.
I'm actually into that. I'm actually into
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's safe. I
With
like
deep
this-
fakes, it's totally safe.
I like the safety that
With
that
deep fakes,
provides.
totally safe. While some men, here we go. Number 1, foreplay and afterplay. So this is a girl giving you some ideas in Men's Journal. While some men may think sex is mostly about penetration, a woman needs foreplay and afterplay. If a guy turns over and dozes off, a woman will often feel abandoned, says Dr. Gilda Carl, sexpert and author of 8 Tips to Understand the Opposite Sex. A woman wants the foreplay to begin the act of intercourse, flirting, text, sexual innuendos, warm her up. Sex for a woman is not just sex. It's a physical and emotional reflection of feeling desired.
Okay.
2, explore commonly ignored hot spots. A woman wants a man to explore her inside and outside with his fingers and make it an adventure. Really? Let's see.
The fuck is afterplay?
Let's see if I can find your G spot, for example.
Yeah, let's. Shall we?
This could be a mutual exploration for both of you, says Dr. Gilda. You might want to look up what Dr. Gilda...
What's her name? Gilda...
Carl. C-A-R-L-E.
Gilda Carl. You want to take a guess what she looks like, bud?
Yeah, I mean, I think I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I was going to say gray hair. I thought it was going to be like rocking that gray hair.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
That also makes sense.
Be sure to also fondle and kiss oft ignored erogenous zones like inner thigh, ear, and lower back.
Like, I don't know if maybe, look, I don't think I'm that special. Like, when they say shit like this, I feel like I'm being talked down to. Like, you don't fucking think I knew that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe some guy did.
And there's just, but how there can't be that many guys that are that fucking
Have you ever seen
dumb.
the porn where it's like porn stars will have sex with like a fan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they're
yeah.
kind of like,
I just pictured a guy sticking his dick like in a oscillating fan.
Oh man, that's
So
what got
it fucking
you off guard.
caught me off guard for a
Having
second.
sex with a fan.
But yes, like,
there was like a series called Average Joe.
yeah, sure, sure. You get guys.
I
that
wouldn't
get
know. But the whole deal is, and I remember some of those, I was like, this is awkward. I like to
I
see
know
a
what
guy who knows what
afterplay
he's
is.
doing.
Somebody asked on the text line.
Dirty talk. Women want to feel wanted, okay, guy?
Yeah.
They want to know they are turning you on and how. They want to feel hot, desired.
Dirty talk has its limits.
Appreciated, honored, says Weissman. Individual preferences vary: dirty, descriptive, romantic. But try out different varieties to see what elicits the best response from your partner.
Yeah.
If you need a place to start, read our complete dirty talk guide right
buddy.
here.
We might need to just go ahead and take a hard right turn to Dirty Talk Town.
I'm looking at it right now. Be a little mean. I like that.
So far, actually, most of this has been pretty.
Don't play
pretty
20
fucking
questions.
Solid advice, actually, so far.
Sex before sexting. Make her laugh. Speak in another language in her ear.
So far, so good.
Experiment with different things. Watch porn together. Go easy on the daddy talk. I think so too.
I agree. I agree with that.
And don't worry if it doesn't work. That's a good little.
No, so far
those are good. Those are tips for dirty talk.
The sex tips have been pretty solid so far.
Yeah, we don't have. I mean,
and so far,
some of those are gonna be
actually,
good.
those were. See, this is the problem, ladies. You need to be reading Men's Journal. That's the thing.
Okay,
that's where they're missing out. You read Cosmopolitan, their sex tips are ridiculous. They're also getting their sex tips from women experts. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get your sex tips from sexually evolved men if that's who you're trying to please. That's when it makes sense. Just like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Clitoral stimulation. Yes,
Good.
guys, women want more of it. Some women like it with a finger or 3 in the ass or vagina at the same time. Wow. You can also try strong sucking, teasing with your tongue, and using your nose and forehead. Fuck yeah, dude. Using your nose
right
and
now they're
nailing
it, dude. This is
nailing
this
good.
shit.
Try different amounts of pressure, rhythm, and duration of time to see what she likes best. For many women, direct contact on the clitoris can be too intense.
Sure it is.
Although they may like rhythmic pressure on the clitoral shaft, the part of the woman's clitoris that swells when she's aroused.
I liken it to we've all been in that situation where you just came and you signed up
Get in
for a
shape
workout
or
plan?
I don't want to be cut.
I don't want to be cut.
I don't want to be cut.
I
What
don't
a
wanna be
great
cut at
thing
all.
to be able to say no to. I want to be a stupid lazy fuck.
I don't really want to cut.
Okay, I guess I want to be a stupid lazy fuck unless I fucking
Yeah, I like it.
click
That
on
would be
this.
great if that was the other option. Like, no, I like being a fat fuck.
Worship her, not just her orgasm. A woman wants to be sensually stroked and caressed, not grabbed. That's debatable. One of my clients complains her husband always grabs her breast. She feels like a piece of meat.
Okay.
A woman wants to see adoration in her man's eyes. A woman
It's a balance, bud.
It's a balance. If a woman feels like your only goal in bed is to make her orgasm, she may feel like your romp has more to do with your ego than anything else. You think a girl, if you're all about getting her off like just amazingly well, and she's like, all he cared about was my orgasm. He's just feeding his ego. No, if you did it right, she's gonna be like,
yeah, yes. But I mean, it also, I mean, people
I don't
are
think she's thinking
people
much
are
about your
entering.
ego at that point.
But on the flip side of that, like if you're in a relationship and you have tremendous sex all the time, and it does become this thing where the two of you are just ultimately trying to make the other person come as many times as you possibly can. Maybe there's an ego trap in there. You know what I mean?
for
Where
sure.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
the ego's
where,
good in
where,
bed.
where you lose the connection of the after play or whatever, where you're wanting to look. And then all of a sudden, you've turned yourself into a sex toy, and you've lost the human connection, the spiritual
fine.
connection.
Every once in a while,
sometimes you
it's
gotta
fine.
do that. Every now and then,
Sometimes
you
it's
gotta
fine.
fucking throw all of it to the wind and just see what comes out of it. But you can't forget that there is a spiritual connection and energetic knot being tied. Right?
An energetic not being licked. But sure, make sure she comes first and again. Women have the ability to climax multiple times, and that means so do guys. I'll come 7 times in a night, dude. And that means that your job as her partner is to make sure that women have more of those gasms. Many people don't realize that 70% of women need clitoral stimulation to orgasm. Founder and CEO of My Secret Luxury, Stacy Ribchin says, so yes, you'd be correct in thinking that you can't just rely on penetration alone to get her off. Rather, consider introducing accessories and toys into bed that get you in the right position or angle for what you both like best. All about that shit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make her feel like a pig. Oh, sorry, make her feel pretty. It's more than just when you are naked. Try for no reason at all saying, "You're beautiful." Unless you're talking to Angelina Jolie, we all have one phrase in common that we can never hear enough, and that's, "You're so beautiful," says sex and relationship expert Wendy Newman.
Wendy Newman.
Be spontaneous. Women like surprises, especially sexy ones. Surprising your girlfriend or wife with something that shows you care about her while also showing how sexy you think she is.
Goose in the booth, eh?
Some ideas beyond lingerie: knee-high socks, a silk robe, a racy nightgown. When a woman knows you bought something for her when thinking how hot she'd look in it, it also may inspire her to be a little more adventurous next time she finds herself shopping for naughty under things. Naughty under
things.
Or try gifting her a sensual shared activity like a couple's massage, or passes to hot yoga to check out together. Last one is pay attention outside of sex too, bud. A woman wants to know a guy is going out of his way for her. Could be a little trinket he picked up because he's thinking about her. Could be flowers. When a guy proves he cares about a woman and cares about her body, she will be putty in his hands, says Dr. Gilda. Showing that you're a caring listener is also key. A woman wants to know a man is truly listening to what she's saying. Listening proves a woman is important enough to a guy that he wants to know what's on her mind. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Remember that?
No.
You don't know Seth's guy, the ladies' man? He's like, when you on a date, he goes, just shut the fuck up.
You can't help yourself talking.
He's like, let her do the talking.
Let her do the
Shut
talking.
the fuck up.
You ain't trying to make a connection. You're just trying to dig down these hoes.
Yeah, dude, he was just trying to dig them down. His whole thing was be quiet, ask questions, and dig them down at the end of the night. He had a whole system.
Not bad.
What was that guy's name? The ladies? The guy who...
You better not mention that again, Jizzmonger. There's a new sheriff in town, and he's here to squirt. Bust out a little baby batter for the thirsty ones. Pouring some out for my homies.
Oh, I like her voice.
Oh, she's a sweetie.
Her voice. Who's that? What's your name?
She's a sweetie.
What's your name, gal?
What's her? I don't know what her name is.
Or is that Alan playing a trick on me? Just kidding. This is Alan. Squirt. Oh, jeez. Time for another commercial.
No.
My name is Queef Queen.
No, it's not. Nope. It's not. I'm convinced the stanky leg was derived from female orgasms.
The stanky leg.
Are you sure that's
How would you know?
The stinky leg?
No, the stanky leg.
I know.
The stanky leg.
Stanky leg means it stank. It stinks.
Steve, you've never... Oh, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, you abandoned it.
I'll give you one.
You abandoned it.
I'll give you one. You want one? I'll give you one.
No, because they're not good.
On this day in history, 1775.
Are you sure it's this date? Are you sure it's this actual date?
Say the 15th. Brought to you by Bunder Property Group. The Bill of Rights is ratified in Congress. Come along. Inalienable motherfucker. You doing okay over there? Ooh. Oh, nice. You feel cool sitting like that?
It's time for me to rap with the kids, man.
Afternoon special.
Just time to rap with the kids. What's up? What's going on? What's up with you? You know?
Does Seth not know that we have a show in the mornings?
Is he texting us right now?
Yeah, he's just sending us messages.
Why?
Well, actually, it's in regards to
Go Silly! A lisping cheerleader.
One of the best. I don't know how you would do lisping without making noise. I don't think you could. I think we need to read the rules. I think you got to be able to.
We can go like this.
I mean, maybe you could. Maybe you could.
You could.
What's that?
Maybe you could. That's what we were talking about. Said maybe you
Wouldn't mind riding that tongue.
My tongue?
What you talking about whenever you were...
Oh, I have my tongue sticking out.
Later. That's your lisp?
Yeah. I would have got that. I got blow up now.
You got blow up. Dude, that was actually pretty impressive. That was not bad. But I don't even think you guys got the second card.
No.
That was a hard loss. I get it. I get it. I could stomach pumping. Dude, I was gonna run through this wall. Guys, we get weird on Monday nights.
He got upset.
We get weird on Monday nights.
What are you doing? This is a close-up
I don't really
Craig
want to be
show.
in close-up Craig show. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. I don't think it's too much to ask. Here's the deal. I've been DMTing this for a long time, Steve. A DMT drug study investigates the entities people meet while tripping. The psychedelic drug DMT can conjure powerful visions in low doses. People often hallucinate fractal patterns, geometric shapes, distortions in the physical space around them, but things get much stranger with higher doses. When people consume enough DMT and N-dimethyltryptamine to have a breakthrough experience, they often encounter beings that seem autonomous, existing in a reality separate from our own. The form and nature of these beings vary in reports, but one thing remains curiously constant. People tend to rank these encounters among the most meaningful experiences of their lives. For some people, these encounters change their beliefs about reality, the existence of an afterlife, and God. A recent survey provides some of the most detailed information about these encounters to date. Published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology, the survey includes responses from 2,561 adults about their single most memorable encounter with a being or beings after smoking or vaporizing DMT. DMT is an endogenous chemical, meaning the body produces it naturally, though it's a Schedule I drug in the U.S. You know the deal. Most respondents had used DMT about a dozen times in their life. The survey excluded experiences in which people consumed other drugs with DMT, and it didn't include experiences with ayahuasca, which is a brew that contains DMT. The results show the encounters produce an emotional response for 99% of people. The most common emotions were joy, trust, surprise, love, kindness, friendship, and fear during the encounter experience, with smaller proportions reporting emotions such as sadness, distrust, disgust, anger. Interestingly, 58% of respondents said the being also had an emotional response, almost always positive. The encounters felt more real than reality. This was true for 81% of respondents during the encounter and 65% after the encounter. One respondent wrote, "There was an indescribably powerful notion that this dimension in which the entity and I convened was infinitely more real than the consensus reality I usually inhabit. It felt truer than anything else I'd ever
How can
experienced."
something be infinitely more real than reality?
Well, I mean, infinitely is an interesting descriptor, but I mean, this is something that I've said here on this show that I've said many times that I truly believe. Like, the most real thing I've ever experienced has been in that space. That's why I feel comfortable and competent and ignorant of any judgments of my explaining the experience, right? Because for the longest time, and it's still very, it happens all the time when you talk to someone who's had a powerful hallucination, psychedelic, psychotropic experience, where people like feel the need to have to apologize as a precursor for what sounds like craziness. Like I know this sounds crazy, but this is what happened. And as far as I can tell, like all of the things that I've felt and experienced in this world kind of paled in comparison as far as what felt true to me.
Isn't it less real, though? And I know they put real in quotes there, but like if we're defining this as reality, which I know this isn't even fucking really real. This is just what's our brain is telling us what's real, what our eyes are seeing, what even the frequencies we're picking up on, I mean, there could be a whole nother world going on around us. But for someone to go on record saying it was infinitely more real than consensus reality, it's like, I think it's on the same level. I'm not saying it's less real, but I'm saying it's like almost like what's more real. I feel like that's closer to a dream like trance state than this reality. And if we're considering dreams the opposite of reality, or you know what I mean? Like to quantify what reality is, try to, which you can't really.
You can't.
You can't. And maybe in this sense, it's like, oh, this reality is kind of the veil, and that reality is the peek behind the curtain. But isn't that just kind of a story you tell yourself anyway? Because we'll never really know.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what this guy is alluding to? Like, oh yeah, this is the consensus reality that all of our brains are in. This is the singular reality of what I'm picking up on, because my reality is only based on the reality of others telling me kind of what's real and interacting. So I need this other stuff to know I'm real. So it's all working together. You got to have both of them to know what's real. To where when you get into a deep state on DMT, it's just you and the reality.
Yeah.
Which I could see what that because that's a singular function of, it's like, how does one cell feel by itself, or one cell working in congruence with all these other cells? Does the cell ever go, oh fuck, I'm doing all this shit myself? Like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm the only motherfucker here, really.
No doubt.
But I mean, there's a bunch of other things here too, but I'm the only one that is real. That I'm sure. I don't know you're real.
No,
I don't know anything's real.
Well, and you're seeing a version of me that I don't see.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Right?
Yeah.
It's all how we're perceiving this thing. So I mean, real's a weird word, because what is real? Well, I mean, this waking existence, this physical reality, is certainly different than the DMT one, which is different than other chemical or meditative planes of existence. I've been a different thing in a different place under the influence of different things often. Like this particular article is about DMT. A lot of people get entities. I personally, I've only had one kind of experience with an entity, and it was
That's cool.
And it wasn't really an entity that I was communicating with. I guess I've had two, but on DMT itself. The other one was on a psilocybin journey. But it was basically just this giant mantis-like alien thing. I don't, but it was seemingly benevolent. Its presence was joyous as I was moving through its space, but like I didn't have like a conversation. Very, very rarely is that how I'm getting my lessons, my understanding of things, by like communicating with what I my brain or potentially, extraterrestrial aliens that maybe I'm communicating with. Like, I'm not convinced that people aren't also doing that. It just, that's not that's not the frequency my antenna picks up, So, but what I communicate with the infinite, I communicate with the void, and I don't know if that's just a collection of my super conscious, conscience or what, it's something that I think, maybe that's what a conversation with God sounds like. That's probably what all of the great holy books were inspired by. If Moses or Abraham or whomever thought that, there was this voice in their head, this voice from the heavens that was telling them something. I think that's kind of what some of my experiences have been like, but there wasn't necessarily anything that was given form. I see a lot of mechanical gears in there. It's a weird, rudimentary, three-dimensional world that I go to, with all of these different. It's like the movie. I guess like the movie Inception or Doctor Strange, when like the buildings are like starting to flip over and like everything's just kind of moving mechanically. That's a lot of what my experience looks like. It's very kaleidoscopic, right? But I don't have a lot of these experiences. However, I have had the very real, like the thing where I'm like, phew, okay, well, this is what it is. This is whatever exists outside of my body. That's the feeling, I guess. Like it's not like, I mean, it could very well be a dream. I'm not a super vivid, lucid dreamer. I've certainly had them, but it doesn't happen often. But like, it's what reality feels like to my conscience. It's what reality feels like to my soul, to my spirit. It's what reality feels like when I'm not in this shell. And I hope that that's just kind of the thing. Like, it's a remembering for me. It's what it feels like. I feel reassured by the experience, and I feel reassured by it, not searching for reassurance. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I'm not going there to be reminded of the infinite. It just so happens that when I've gone there, that's just kind of what my understanding of it has been.
Is it similar to faith?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know that my ideals. I don't know that they require faith in that being the thing, because I've seen different filters of the infinite, or what I feel is the infinite. I've seen it as, a labyrinth. I've seen it as never-ending clock gears all over the place. I've seen it as Mandelbrot sequences collapsing in on themselves. I've seen it as this crazy fisheye white space that has like that's kind of void of color, and everything just seems like a faint echo.
Yeah.
I've seen it as a lot of different things, and each one of them was kind of reassuring in their own way. Each one of them felt like, maybe this endogenous chemical that we make, that we speculate helps us dream, or is released before we die, or any of that. Maybe it's like each of us, it's the piece that each of us carries around that is, it is our locket. It's our locket of the infinite. And every now and then we can kind of open the locket and we can see what it is that we actually carry with us. But it's not, but like, it loses its luster if you're constantly, being reassured, looking into it. But when you do, after it's been a while, and you're like, I haven't opened that little locket that I had
in my
packed away.
pocket. Lock it in my pocket. What? Lock it in my pocket. I sometimes wonder if, like, our moms who got down on church, if that's what they thought to kind of bring everything together. That when you saw those things in that space, that exact same experience for them was a priest chanting with the host on the altar.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'll ever figure it out,
Yeah, probably not.
And so how do I come to grips with the stories I tell myself, what I want to believe, and what is real, the real story. Like, this is
Or
one
is it
big
important?
mystery.
Is it important
That's
to
what
know
I'm.
what
That's
it's real. Like,
that's the exact problem. Is okay. I don't want to be lied to, and I don't want to lie to myself, because that, if you get that out of balance, you can get real wacky.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
sure.
you're like, I'm going to tell myself all
it's
these
like
stories.
having a wheel out of balance. Man.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It doesn't take very much to fucking make a real
Sure.
rough ride.
But I also don't want to swing the other way with the pendulum to say, well, nothing matters. It doesn't care how I treat that person,
and that
how I
space
treat
exists
myself.
too. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yep.
So to find the medium where I'm lying to myself just enough, and lies and truth we think is so black and white or whatever, you know, cut and dry. They're not. Lies and truth are kind of always these things that there are certain truths that it's like, yeah, I'm always going to love my kids. Like, but lies and truths, we're always seeing like, I love you, my girlfriend right now. I love you. A month later, I hate you. So if you're taking away the spectrum of time, you have loved and hated this person.
Mm-hmm.
When you said I loved him is now a lie. When you said you hated them, maybe you got back together. Now you love them. That is a lie. You have lied in your life. These lies of the past and these ways of like, what is real? What are the stories I tell myself to get through? But I don't want to lie to myself enough that I'm just buying into my own bullshit. And I think that's where having a good support system and a good friend, a lot of good friends, or just a few who can kind of say, dude, I was thinking this the other day. Let me bounce this idea off you. Okay,
Sure.
yeah, we got this shit. This is a great conversation. Now I'm learning stuff about myself that I could never learn by myself.
Yeah.
You're helping me learn about myself by saying things that are bouncing off me, bouncing off you. And it's this whole interlayered thing of the universe learning about itself. Well, I need this little part of the universe to learn more about this little part of the universe.
Yeah.
And that's why we're social beings. That's why I want to, do as much as we can to get people together. Which reminds me, 20 people Sweet Leaf in Festus next Monday. Next Monday.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You can ask if you can be here. We're not sure if we'll let you on.
Christmas extravaganza.
Comedy show.
It's gonna
Comedy
be great.
show.
We're gonna put on a little comedy show.
Like a little. Oh no. Go silly!
Go silly!
Go silly! You want back on?
Come
there
on,
he
man.
is. Here's the man.
There he is.
Yeah, no one will ever forget it. No one will ever forget it.
We're making shirts. Seth's already sent us designs.
I knew he said it looked like mine. He said, I got this all laid out.
So here's the deal. You said you were lying to yourself.
What about food? Yeah, what do you got?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I like meat.
You know that, but I'm talking about food right now, Steve.
Waffle House, what are you getting?
Whatever you want.
Are you eating?
Billy's gonna go get something to eat.
Okay, yeah, just
Unless you want like something quicker.
they do a double cheeseburger this early at Waffle
Don't
House?
do anything you want. I'll do the same thing.
Double cheeseburger fries.
Just a single cheeseburger. I don't want to get crazy. Single cheeseburger.
No, it doubles all the way.
No, a single bacon cheeseburger. Because they got good bacon there. They got thick cut bacon.
One dead animal is not enough. We got
A bacon cheeseburger. A bacon cheeseburger at 9:48.
Coach want to know how that hash pipe's coming along.
I am in the glass shop all week. When
He is. I saw
will be
pipes.
back. I will work on it today.
You got it.
I'll text you to remind you because Coach is like our.
He's the dude.
No, I'm all over it.
He's
Bacon.
all over it. He's going to make it today, he said.
Plain. Maybe some ketchup on the side or whatever.
Load it up. Run it through the garden. Run it through the garden.
Thank you. That's nice.
All right, here's
We're
the
getting
deal.
fed, bud.
So
Just relax
you
for the
you
last
said a couple of
15
things, and I
minutes,
can't
bud.
believe that I've actually. Yeah, he's in the glass studio all day today.
He forgot
'cause
about
Coach
you.
is
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. He's like, oh fuck
that. He's like, fuck that guy.
Shit on that guy.
He's busy. What do you want?
Yeah, what do
You
you?
got
Come
a lot
on,
of
guy.
shit.
The world
Jesus
doesn't
Christ.
stop
I
and
know.
start.
Make
at
that
your
pipe right now.
convenience,
Make that
Coach
pipe right
Coach.
now.
You mentioned like kind of having to lie to yourself, into this reality, and you don't want to be at the part where nothing matters, but you also want to have this greater understanding that kind of some of this stuff doesn't. You know,
Yeah,
you want to
for
have an
sure.
existence that it doesn't. And I think that is one of the nice things about psychedelics when when exploring the infinite is and not just psychedelics. Again, holotropic breathing, different ways to enter kind of trance state, travel state. Is that, typically when you're there, when you're understanding maybe how silly a lot of this stuff is, you're also being affirmed that you are a part of this this bigger thing. And you are still very unique in it. And your experience and your perception of things is important for universal consciousness to really get a well-rounded view of everything, to really be able to make this hologram whole. It takes all of us seeing the world through a different set of eyes, seeing the universe through a different set of eyes. And in that, you getting to have some agency and some free will to move throughout that, it only makes the universal consciousness that more aware, that more intelligent. And so you don't have to, dive into nihilism, though sometimes that's the fucking filter that presents itself to you, and you're like, and you have to understand kind of how to move through that and find things that you don't, even if it's true that they don't matter, you want them to matter, and you give them meaning, and you give them enough of your vibration, of your energetic existence, that they do mean something in this big, again, holographic picture that we're all kind of co-creating. And maybe you don't buy into any of that. That's also okay, right? Because on the flip side of that, there are people that are like, I don't have time for the God talk, for the bigger spirituality talk. I like to see the fucking way laser lights go off when I'm tripping. It's fine. That's fine. If your experience, if you are tied into
all these damn kids and their laser lights,
if
kids and their lasers,
black light posters and laser lights, man. If that is, if your existence is entirely, if your recognition of existence is entirely attached to this physical body, then that's also fine. You can go and live this the best you can. And if you're like, hey, I'm fucking fertilizer when it's all done, cool. Yeah. Great. I've got a little bit of all of that in my ethos. That's my thing, is like, if anything, when my dad was sick, my faith was I was as far away from God, I feel like, and I was kind of stuck in a situation for years leading up to that. I was, substance abuse, things like that. And my relationship with God sucked. Because what I kind of thought was God, or how I was taught to talk to God, was kind of a little farcical to me. And there were still things that were kind of important to me, but at the same time, like, I didn't know why, because I didn't feel that connection to God when I was doing it, like I did when I was a kid. Straight up, I bought into it as a kid, because when I sang as loud as I could in church, where the sound bounced around all of us and we made like this thing that was literally a higher vibration, I felt closer to God. And as I got older, and when we moved to Springfield, and our church was kind of your typical suburban kind of contemporary Catholic church, where everything's kind of carpeted and just different looking. It wasn't the same thing we grew up with in the city, where you have like these cathedrals and these just different, kind of cavernous. Hi guys, thank you for sticking along.
Where were you reading the reconnect?
Down in the lower left corner. Hopefully the sound was still coming through to you guys. Maybe there was. To try and convince you there is a God would be very difficult.
I'll scare you into it.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is that was normal,
Oh, hell
and
yeah,
it's still
hell,
very
bud.
normal. And it's also, sometimes it's heartbreaking, because you see people that you love so kind of caught in this loop of fear, that even whenever they're dealing with death, whenever loved ones, like, to me, if you're really just strong in your faith, then death doesn't have this super negative effect on you. It doesn't, it doesn't mean you don't feel sadness or anger or whatever happens, especially when it's an untimely death. But also, like, your faith is typically, it should be a reassurance. Like, anybody who is rooted in any kind of religious faith, typically that faith is attached to the eternal. whatever filter of God you want to put on that. Typically, it's attached to the eternal. And so, you should be assured in your faith by the time that that someone you love has come to death, that it doesn't just completely destroy your world. Because if you love them, then you're happy for them getting to experience this thing that we're all promised, right?
I know.
So but here's the deal. The way that they have scared us into faith is that, there's enough doubt, there's enough guilt, there's enough self-loathing to actually entertain the fact that maybe you don't get to see that vision of the infinite and you're going to be punished for it. And so there's this, and then there's also this question, whether you believe any of this at all. And maybe that in your mind is like, well, maybe I won't ever see them again. Maybe I won't. And, I would suggest that just like for many people who, I think we talked about it a little bit last night, like the first time you smoked weed or the first, like you did a certain substance, like you weren't really sure how it was supposed to feel. You thought weed was going to be mushrooms, right? And, maybe there's a layer of that to the afterlife where we have this idea of what life is because this is how we live it. This is how we move through it. And life might look completely different after we leave this body behind. And it might take a minute to understand that. It'll be a whole new birthing process.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Like I have a hard time believing that this thing, like I don't have a hard time believing that I'm just I mean, I know it's scientific fact. I'm such a small part of this whole thing that is made up right now. And there are enough kind of similarities and consistencies with everything that we cut open, that we look into, whether it's brain mapping looking like the universe or, flowers opening in these Fibonacci spirals. There are things that are kind of happening throughout nature with things that we're not physically interacting with that are following kind of the same patterns. Something appears to be bigger than what we're participating in. And you get to apply whatever name you want to that. And it doesn't, and for me, like when I say God, it's almost lazy because God is just the easiest thing for me to say to describe the most complicated thing happening. Like this constant interaction of all things that every now and then we get to remove our ego from and realize, oh yeah, I'm participating in that at more than just a cellular level. I'm also participating that at a vibrational level. I'm participating in that, on a spectrum of light. Like there are different ways that and that's one of the things that psychedelia kind of gives us a glimpse into, is it blends. It's this synesthesia of senses that allows us to kind of feel the beauty of something that we see, or taste the beauty of something we can see, or something has a. It's not that something looks a certain way or smells a certain way or sounds a certain way or feels a certain way. It's all of those things kind of happening simultaneously, and that's why it's really hard to use adjectives that are built to describe different senses that we feel whenever we're feeling all of them at the same time.
No doubt. And I think it also, to balance it out, could just be the brain playing a few tricks on us too, and it's like, does finding that out matter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get to apply the meaning.
Yes.
And what I like to believe is we probably get to shape what that next incarnation is.
It's like everything in our life. When shit happens to you, how are you going to shape that situation in your life? Bad things happen, good things happen. Okay, there's quintessential things that are considered good and bad. But when things happen to you, how you react is how this outcome is going to be. And that's kind of with everything, You can't let life happen to you. Sometimes you got to take the old bull by the horns, bud.
Naturally. Yeah, absolutely.
Good talk, dude.
Not bad, brother.
Good talk
Not
today,
bad.
bud.
You got
Good
anything,
talk. No, he took my guitar away.
That son of a bitch.
And I lost his tuner.
His tuner? It's around. We'll find it right now. Guys,
I lost his tuner.
we have sponsors. They're great. We're at the Sweet Leaf Emporium Studios. You saw Jason come back here and tell you all to go silly.
Go silly, everyone.
Catholic Church, I feel, will bring the Antichrist. I left and formed my own relationship with God, which has been more real than ever. Through psychedelics, I feel he speaks and shows things that you wouldn't see without the veil lifted. Yeah, man. When I started the Missouri Psychedelic Podcast, which I have to get going again, you guys got to start holding me accountable, man. I'm just not spending enough time here talking. When I started it, I got to thinking about how cool the premise is. You do?
Yep.
How cool the premise is.
We got a guitar guy coming in.
Yeah, right on.
Tell him to get ready for it.
Okay. How cool. I forgot. I lost where I was at, guys. I apologize. Catholic Church.
Where's my tuner at, you little bastard?
We'll find it, guys. We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it. That's right.
You just need. There you go. You got a little guitar tuner over there.
Yeah. Yeah, but he is a real.
My relationship with God improved through psychedelics as well. But I don't, I'm trying to find, like last night we had Brennan on the show and he does a really good job of communicating things that people have a hard time hearing, through, just through, analogies and allegories that we can all kind of apply to our own existence. And I feel as though finding a way to communicate the infinite, to talk about spirituality, to talk about what is consciousness, and how much does your waking reality depend on the body that you inhabit? I don't know, but having those conversations regularly and trying to find ways to where it's not people are just shut off to it from the get-go. That's only going to make us more. It's made me more empathetic. Like I'm searching for that person's perspective. That's something that's like sitting and listening to someone's stories of psychedelia and like their experience with the infinite, with God, with just the weird. Getting those different perspectives gives me a greater capacity to understand because I know how crazy I sound. We talk about it all the time. I've apologized. I know this sounds crazy. And first time we talked to Shane Moss, he's like, I assure you, it may sound crazy, but I'm probably the one person on the planet you could talk to and not think you're crazy. Yeah. But that's the thing, man. We always feel like we have to apologize for making people feel uncomfortable. That maybe what this is also kind of a mass hallucination. Oh
yeah.
I mean, we're all.
I think we're getting out of
there.
We're
all participating in delusions every day. We all participate in delusions every day, especially with media narratives and whatever. Like, there's always something being pushed that polarizes us, and people are participating.
I didn't pick I wanted to be cut because I already am just straight cut. Look in the mirror every day. I'm like, you stallion. And then I'm like, see a picture of myself, and I'm like, oh.
It was actually a circumcision ad.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm already cut.
Yeah, you're already cut. Your parents loved you, and
Oh,
no, hang
come on.
No, they did. They loved you, and they said, I have to cut my son's penis for God.
Yeah, thank you.
For God. It was for God, bud.
I know.
All right. Oh, we got rocks. What are we playing? You tell me,
baby.
bud.
What do you know on the guitar?
I don't.
What do you got, Steve-O? Hey, guys, what song do you want to hear? This is how we end this thing.
We'll look it up and then we'll do it. We'll do an improv right now.
We'll do an improv right now.
How about Shanty Mama or whatever you play?
What is Shanty Mama,
Really?
bud?
You gotta sing it?
Yeah, I'll look up the words.
Go for it right now. I dare you.
You gotta come on file. On file? You gotta come on camera. Get over here. All right, there's a lot of people in REO Speedwagon or Styx or Beatles or Stones or any of those.
I know a lot of that stuff.
Just play one. We'll do it.
We'll sing it.
No, just pick one.
Check.
Go.
Well, you already did. I remember.
What song are you guys playing here?
What's the name of that song?
What song is it you
It's called
want to
a
hear?
shanty, and it's sad you don't know it.
I know. I'm the one who knows it.
Who plays it? Who's
The
the?
Shanty's in Fenton, Missouri. It's not called the Shanty.
That's the name of the song, not the store. The store is definitely cool though.
The
You gotta check
song.
that
Who
store
sings
out.
it? Jonathan Edwards.
There you go, bud.
I've
You
never
know the
heard. I've
song.
never heard this song in my life.
Yeah, play. You've heard it.
I've never heard it.
You've heard it. I wanna sit in the kitchen, fix some good to eat, make me a little head high, whole day complete, 'cause I wanna lay around the shanty, mama, put a good buzz on. You've heard it. Well, pass it to me, baby. Well, pass it to me slow. And take time out to smile a little, let it go. We gonna lay around the shanty, mama, put a good buzz on.
Well, there ain't nothing to do, and there's always room for more. Feel little lady, shut up and close the door. We're gonna lay around the shanty, mama, put a good buzz on. Every night and day, if I can help it, we're gonna lay around the shanty, mama, put a good buzz on.
Nailed it.
How about that?
You never heard that song?
I think I have.
Come on, guys.
I think I have.
I haven't heard it in a minute. I didn't know it was Jonathan Edwards.
Who the hell's Jonathan Edwards?
Guy he ran for senator, didn't he? Was he a senator? John Edwards?
John Edwards. Yeah, he was a senator.
Senator.
I think he
Thank you.
got caught banging somebody. And
Well, you know how it's time to. No, we do it. Are you going longer? What are you doing?
no, I'm not going longer. I'm just getting comfortable, bud.
Why?
Because I got work to do, Steve. Because we got sponsors. James Carlton sells insurance. I'm going to his office directly after here. Wish me luck.
Shoot a video.
Wish me luck. I
Some
might
video.
not ever return.
Oh, I know. Is he murdered?
314-961-4800. He is the best insurance agent in the game. He takes care of me, my family, my friends. He's a steward of the community. He is. He honestly, the guy is the most. He was the first sponsor we ever had.
You called him a murderer.
Those are all in jest. Those are all in jest. He doesn't have the capacity. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
No, he
doesn't have the
great.
capacity
Just
to hurt
call him.
anything. Call him. Give him a shot.
It would
at
help
business.
us if you just
If
called
you live
him.
in Missouri
If
or
one of
Illinois,
you called him and said, "We heard about you on the Hoosiers," it would really mean a lot to us.
it really would, and it's probably going to save you money, if we're being honest. And you're going to have better insurance.
It's a possibility to save you money too.
Yeah, I mean, it could just make your day better.
Whatever.
Shanty is one of the Friday songs on Keishi. It's good shit. Allie Taylor, Limp Biscuits.
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, that's what you wanted
No.
for that. I'm just break your fucking face tonight. Give me something to break. Adam Bundren, last night, I was pretty tired from the show. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it.
You did though.
I woke up 3:11 in the morning.
Oh, Amber is a color.
And I
of your
did.
melody.
I called him up and he says, well, hello, is this one of the Hoosiers? And I say, rainstorm, take me away from the norm.
Whoa.
I got to tell you something.
Man, if you wanted to try to fucking French kiss
And
a
then
chick,
he joined
do
in
that.
perfect harmony, and he said, this phenomenon, had to put it in a song, and it goes like, whoa, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,900 square feet.
whoa, ranch style house being good to me.
You want to know what brings me here? It's your love.
It's your
I
love.
call you in the middle of the night just to talk real estate. We love Adam Bundren, and he wants to talk to you. You could call him now if you want to. These are technically his office hours.
Sure.
But it's really not his kink, and we don't kink shame. So maybe you call him in the middle of the night and you say, let's talk some insurance, Adam. You guys did way better. Hey, little mama, let me light your candle because I'm sure the Hemi now gets around. I don't...
Is that what he says?
Jake, he says...
They said we did awesome. They want an encore.
The
Limp
Hemi
Bizkit.
now gets around. You know any
Do you
Limp
know Limp
Bizkit?
Bizkit?
He doesn't know Limp Bizkit.
He doesn't know any Limp Bizkit. Here.
He doesn't know
You left
any
it over here.
Limp Bizkit.
Did you leave it here? You left it over here. Where's he running? He's running.
He's got another pick.
Oh. He's gonna have to
In the
tune up.
meantime, Ms. Marketing, what they do is digital marketing.
Digital.
They do a little
Marketing.
digital play and a little digital marketing.
Do any of our sponsors listen to our live reads for
If
them?
our sponsors heard our live reads, this show would collapse.
Tomorrow, we should stop doing that.
Okay. He's good.
Ms. Marketing will get you more leads.
Drop D. I'm playing.
I know.
Limp Bizkit,
I know.
bud.
Let's see if you can do this. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is good. Everybody sucks. That's better to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days.
Know about that he said, she said bullshit.
Yeah, it is. See, there you go, Allie. Thank you, Jason. He was into it. That's Stained.
It's Stained?
I
Yeah.
forgot how to do that one. Yeah, you know
That's
what?
Stained.
We'll throw a couple together and come back and do something.
Okay, well, we're going off the air. So.
EGD suspended seventh is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't know. Craig has no idea what he's talking about.
No, I'm 100% for real.
I don't think it's an A.
And it's just the two strings without the third string. A. Next one over. Is that like A7?
And then you said what? What was the last? That was the last one.
Yeah.
So it's
E, G, D, and then that weird A. No.
You said D, right? Well, E, G, ah.
And then that A.
Yeah, so hold on a second here.
And you see, I told you, bud. Steve's like, I can't fucking believe you played the one song that Craig would know the chord progression to. We're bringing that one
Made
to
him
you.
sound brilliant. Made this cocksucker sound like he knows what the hell's going on. I hate that.
Dennison Collard sells native hemp extract. It's the best hemp. There you go.
Dennison makes the
Make
oil.
the finest weed products. All the times when I could splash it in me.
No.
For you.
Yeah.
And I leave the bottle by the door. And
Suck
get to
it
work
down.
and I'm pissed off because I forgot my CBD. But I'm on time and I'm looking in. And I can see through you, see your true oil. Cause when it's in me, I'm lovely and a little horny too. I love native hemp extract, and it's made by you, Dennison Collard.
Well, you really have a lot of fun going on here.
This is what we have here. This is what we do
Why do I
here.
not come here all the time?
Cuz.
Oh, they want to hear Masker! Mascara puppets are pulling your strings. I like that actually, Jake. You got a little Mascara Puppets shirt over there at Bullsworth Apparel? Yeah, it is Black Crowes, the first one you're talking about. What? No, yeah, he was talking about playing.
Play Metallica. Wow.
We're just
no,
gonna,
we
we're
gotta
gonna do a
shut
whole
down
show.
the
We gotta shut this thing down. Who was this? Did I miss any
Yeah.
sponsors? I don't think I missed any sponsors. I think I got them all.
Spanish Society.
Spanish Society Outreach. Thank you. It's right underneath me on the video. Not anymore. Spanish Society Outreach. Brian Kessler, the Vibe Tribe. We've been raising money. We did pretty much Live Aid on Friday. Jason, I don't know if you saw it, but we raised over $500 just in playing
Pretty
a little
much Live Aid.
hour and a half concert of covers where Steve and I were just all over the place. My wife came in, tried to. It was
We
impromptu.
invited
We'll do
you,
it again, bud.
Where did I see an invite?
Remember when I was like, "Hey, Jason, you want to come up? You want to come up this week?" Like, I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there in a minute. Well, we were talking in person, like on the phone. I don't think you're gonna have record of our conversation.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're recording all of our.
Always.
He says.
Be careful when you talk to Jason.
Guys, thank
Just
you for
kidding, I
tuning in.
wouldn't
Steve,
say
there is
anything.
one thing. I don't know if Jason even knows.
What does he know?
Does he even know?
No, he doesn't
how
know.
we do it, bud?
You
Does
know how
he
we
even-
end the show, bud?
You know how we
You were
end our
supposed to
show?
actually. Do you have that thing?
Naked or something?
No, that
do you
thing.
have
Did you
that
bring it? That thing?
Yeah, that thing.
What thing though?
Did you bring that thing?
What?
Did you bring it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Did
got
you
it.
bring
Did
You
he
got
bring? Did he bring the?
You want to soften it up and warm it up a little bit, or what?
Cowabunga.